Okay, alright, we're here. Thank you, Malachi, for making your grand return. Let me just put the info out there. Oh, man. Speaking of Gondor, by the way, did you know, they came out with a new addition to the Lord of the Rings game? And they made Gondor, like, really, really weak. So that's cool. Just nerfing my favorite army. Mad Milk! Oh my god, Mad Milk, hello. Welcome. Also, if you've noticed, Malachi is here. What's 9 plus 10? 21. Oh, man. Good old times. A very family-friendly meme. Alright, let me put this tweet up. I've been meaning to do this for a minute. There we go. Yeah, Malachi. Yeah. Now I just gotta sit here and listen to, well, let me turn it down. It's quite loud. Oh, I'm really hoping for a good show. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm actually hoping for a terrible show. Terrible shows are easier to make fun of. You know, the more AOS we get, the better it will be for me to make fun of. Okay, let's open this up. Blah, blah, blah. Turn that down. Set this up. Set that aside. Honestly, the last show... Wait. More Thousand Suns model, please? That... I mean, it might be possible. They do need a little bit of an update. Slightly. One or two things, maybe. Honestly, last show I stayed up till 1 AM and was really pissed afterwards. Yeah, I think I remember the last show. It was dog shit. But hey, this is the big summer preview, so who knows? The last Warhammer show I watched was the video games preview, and my god, it was terrible. Literally 9 out of 10 games they showed off were all phone games. Jesus Christ. What a joke, man. Absolutely horrific. Just, hey, look, did you know Custodians are coming to Tacticus? Wow. Spend $100 to get maybe 1 out of 5 characters. Wow. Honestly, I hope the hosts get really sweaty balls that stick to their thighs if the show is shit. Reminds me of Blizzard Diablo Immortal shit show. Ugh. Don't remind me. I mean, I've never been a huge fan of Blizzard to begin with, but yeah, that just pretty much guaranteed me to not be a fan. Never been a fan of World of Warcraft. Never been a fan of Diablo, or whatever other games they make, if they even make any other games. None that I can think of note, or worth. And I played Diablo 4, and it was definitely a game that existed, that's for sure. But hey. Oh yeah, Overwatch. Yeah, Overwatch. Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm, two I'm vaguely familiar with. But Overwatch is only known to people through porn now. No one plays that game. I mean, the vast majority of the people that played the game watched the porn. Wait. Speaking of shit developers, Lion, do you endorse the stop killing games thing? Yes, Pirate Software is a massive retard. Just a flat-out retard. Jesus. 7 more minutes. Hopefully. We've got this epic music. You heard it here, folks. Now sub or else. Man, I wish. I wish.
Pooh.
What the hell was that? Some of these don't... Oh, fuck. Oh, Malachi, of course, gifting a random sub. Thank you. Doing what you always do. Jesus Christ, man. You come back for 5 seconds and that's what you do. Yep. I told you things have died down a lot. I mean, you gifted 1 sub and you're already number 1. Let me have a look at the activity feed. Let's open Stream Manager. Activity feed, blah blah blah. Yeah, he gifted 1, but... So he wants to tell me that you've gifted a total of ... but then it doesn't tell me what that ... is. Being loyal for 21 months don't mean anything to you, Lion? No, it means everything to me. Don't be like that. This is just Malachi. He gets special treatment. I mean, when I started streaming, Malachi... Malachi just came out of nowhere and gifted me... Christ, I don't even know how much. It was a lot. It was a lot. Day 1, dropping money bombs. Absolutely. Let's see if they reveal something new. I mean, well, not new as... That sounds so stupid to say. Not something new as in just anything new. I know we're gonna get something new, but I mean, like a new faction... Maybe. Possibly. How's your mum, by the way? She's doing great. My mum's fantastic. I mean... Yeah, I mean, she's just, missed that sexy lady. Okay. Well, I'm glad she's not here to see you say that. Jesus Christ. But that is another thing, when I get this new computer, I'll be able to get her on here a lot more often too, which will be great. Yeah. And, I probably should have mentioned this too. Despite having enough money to get a new computer, my grandparents have insisted that it only goes to the new computer and nothing else, which is very unfortunate for me because a few months ago my chair broke and so I've been sitting on a chair that is from the dining table. So yeah. He's shitting. Yeah. But this dining chair table is about as comfortable as a church pew, so I've had to put a couple of pillows on it. Shit in pants confirmed. If this show is bad enough, I will shit my pants. Not because I want to, but because you want me to. He's a sink pisser too, if I remember correctly. Only once, when I was a little kid. But we'll see. It's possible this will be a good show. It is the big summer preview after all. But that could just be a marketing technique. It won't be? Yeah, it probably won't be. Hey, have some hope, man. Get that Games Workshop stock up. Alright, it's about to be 7 o'clock. If it doesn't start, I'll be pissed. Next game? Fuck you. Actually, what games do we have? Let's see, shall we? We have Total War Medieval 2, Divide and Conquer, which is just Lord of the Rings Medieval 2, Star Wars Empire at War, Command and Conquer Red Alert 3, Dawn of War 1, and the expansions for Dawn of War. That's what we've got. This guy loves Warhammer. I do. Here we are.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. We are very excited to welcome you today.
What is up with the what is up with the screen?
My name is Adam Troke.
They couldn't afford a better camera.
Eddie Eccles, and it is our delight to host this show.
Yeah, very exciting. We have a big preview today.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of Warhammer. We've got stuff from all sorts of different settings, from Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, some Horus Heresy in the mix there as well. There's a little bit of something for everybody, it's fair to say.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Let's talk about how it's going to work a little bit. If you're new, maybe this is your first Warhammer preview you've joined in. We are your hosts, but we are not...
Hey, it's that guy who followed me on Twitter. Yeah, he followed me on Twitter, and then I revealed, and then I spoiled Modern Warfare 3, you know, the really, really, really shit one, and then he unfollowed me.
If you have any questions that you'd like to ask them, please start your question with question in big letters, capital letters at the start of all your comments, and I will do my best to track them, and hopefully we'll get an opportunity later on the show.
You know that Modern Warfare 3 where the campaign was basically just Warzone and absolute dog shit and everyone hated it, rightfully so? I spoiled the ending where Soap dies, and then he unfollowed me. He got really sad.
Between an hour and 90 minutes, if we go fast.
An hour and 90 minutes. Ooh, strap in, boys. We got a long one here.
Flooding in from around the world. So the first thing I'd like to do is throw a question out there, maybe get you...
Do you need me to turn it up, by the way, or is it okay?
In the world you're from. I do it every time, and I always enjoy the answer. And while you start punching in your coordinates, not too specific, I've got a question for you, Eddie. Done any hobby lately?
Oh, I'm glad you asked, Adam. Yeah, I've been doing a little bit of Horus Heresy hobby.
Very nice. You said you were going to.
I did, and I...
Yeah, I've been doing some hobby, guys. I've gotten into Star Wars Legion. I'm hoping that puts you out of fucking business.
But using some of the Horus Heresy transfers on the side, so it looks very nice.
Awesome.
Looking forward to getting some of those done. I've also got some Space Wolves. I bought the new Space Wolf box like a lot of people,
Oh,
very
these
excited by the new.
Yeah, man, if you saw the tweet from the lead developer of the guy, I mean, not the lead developer, the guy who owns the company that sells Star Wars Legions, they're coming out with new box sets that are pretty good, and they're $100 each. Like, they've got quite a lot, and I mean quite a lot of models in them, and they're $100 each, and they come with all the materials you need for the games, everything, literally everything.
Huge shout out. I met a father and son team who've flown all the way across to join in from the US, and they're now hiking, backpacking around the mountains somewhere in Spain.
What an unexpected journey.
Literally. Tremendous.
I myself am a bolt action enjoyer. That's fair.
It was really fun.
I'm also interested to see what happens with Conflict 47, because that's growing quite a bit too, and they're coming out with new ranges that are pretty good.
Oh, all over the place. It's wonderful. So we've got folks from Australia, Canada, USA, Spain, pretty much all over the globe. Someone's claiming they're even from Caliban. I'm not sure the truth of that one.
Hey, yo, that's me.
Only the very best among us could possibly come from such an estimable place.
That's me. They're talking about me.
Awesome. Right. So, as I said before, we've got about 90 minutes worth of like wall-to-wall Warhammer content in this big summer Warhammer preview. We should probably look to begin.
Yeah, let's get stuck in, shall we?
All right, let's go.
Raph, punch the first video.
So just before we go in, the new guy.
Oh, what the
he's
fuck is
a
this?
little bit peculiar, but just bear with, okay?
Okay, cool.
The fuck? Oh, more dwarfs. Okay. Mortar team. Whatever that is. It's got a Tyranid corpse as a cape. That's pretty cool. Make the stream a little bit louder. Okay.
Just two little dudes on a road trip.
Well, that was kind of gay.
What an incredible set of reveals for the Leagues of Votan.
Yeah, so this is the largest release for the Leagues of Votan since the initial release of the army.
Ooh.
This is a huge expansion, all in plastic for that force. There is new heavy infantry, there's some new artillery, there's loads of new really characterful characters to add into the army, there's some new vehicles, all sorts of stuff. So there's
obviously
the full army there,
the
but let's take a
dude with
closer
the
look at some of
Tyranid
the
cape
specific
is
models
really
and
cool.
units being added into the force. We'll start with the Arcanist Evaluator.
Arcanist
So,
Evaluator.
Within
Okay.
the Leagues of Votan, they're not afraid of developing technology and expanding their understanding. And so an Arcanist Evaluator is kind of aside from the ordinary kin within sort of the war bands that operate.
I mean,
He's a member of the science guilds that are responsible for new technologies, and he brings to battle an experimental weapon in the sort of closing phases. Of
okay.
development. This is a transmatter inverter.
It's a cool name.
Yeah, it's got 4 fire modes, and on the highest one, it literally.
So
triggers,
they
lethal
they
atomic
just throw
blast
words together and expect them to sound cool.
Yeah, so he's taken out his new.
I mean, look at the
experimental
name
weapon
of the
based on
model,
the
for
battlefield,
example.
to see if
Arcanist
he has a spec powerful
Evaluator.
enough to melt Space Marines, tanks, or Tyranid monsters, whatever he happens to come up against.
Pretty much yes to the
Pretty
above.
much yes.
Trans, I'm out.
He's not part of the official sort of Leagues of Votan military hierarchy, so he doesn't join your units necessarily, but he kind of hangs around in your army next to them, and he's got kind of low operative ability if he's near your infantry, that sort of thing. But a very useful, characterful little model to add into your Leagues of Votan force. And a nice way of kind of showing the some of
I don't know why,
the lore
but
and culture of
Leagues
the
of
army.
Votan to me look like the most Japanese dwarves ever.
Cool things, that sort of key into that.
Like the way the armor looks and everything, the weapons, they just look like Japanese dwarves.
The results.
That's a very cool head as well, kind of mad scientist vibe going on.
Yeah, and if you wanted to, there's a separate, a different head that you can have, which is helmeted, or if you just fancy some health and safety protocols.
Especially with the white.
That's the way to go. Next up, my absolute standout favourite. This is the thing that made me
This is your
march around
favourite?
the world yesterday and buy some Leagues of Votan models for myself.
Strategist.
The Strategist.
Okay.
He is an Ironkin. Those of you who are fans of the League of Votan will understand that the Ironkin are
Abominable intelligences.
Well, not in their mind, but they're artificial intelligences which they hold an equal position within Votan society. There's a CU unit inside of each of them.
AI?
Sort of within that iron dome that is normally his head. The first
Okay.
thing about this model.
So they're not people, they're AI. That's pretty cool.
In the Imperium, you call them mechadendrites, right? These cables that come out of him. Each of those is an additional CU unit. So he is the combined intelligence of multiple Ironkin, essentially, and he uses that to enormous effect in terms of strategy and tactics on the battlefield, directing the efforts of the kin around him. It keys into a rule as well, which is known as yield points, which we'll talk a little bit.
Go away,
about
Ben
later.
Shapiro. No one
And
shot Israeli
most
propaganda
importantly,
here.
Amazing.
It's a very, very cool miniature, isn't it? Really characterful. I think also got some spare arms on the front there, which is holding on to his little data pad. He's tapping away on there, giving orders to all the various kin and Leagues of Votan units across the battlefield.
Hey, Denzel, welcome. We're looking at stuff.
Hold in his contemplative states, which is
so far, this is looking to actually be quite a good show, because this is apparently supposed to go for like an hour and a half or something. And yeah, we're starting off with an entirely new range of dwarves. So yeah. And hey, Denzel, guess what? It's fucking Malachi. He's back. Look at that.
In one name. Eddie, what's the story?
Yeah, so this is the Ironkin Steeljacks. They are a specialist, kind of more warrior type of Ironkin. A lot of the Ironkin.
Okay, so more AI in suits.
Kind of normal civilian roles in society.
Default state is a sort of friendly, affable helpers for the Leagues of Votan for the kin. These are a much more warlike programming, so they march out actively into
That's
battle.
cool. We like to see AI. AI are cool.
In
They're
very
interesting.
large suits of armor, so they stand kind of almost twice the height of a kin or a League of Votan warrior, and they have got some pretty decent weaponry as well. You can kit them out in a variety of different ways. You can either go combat leaning. This is an example.
Let's see what we get.
Where you can have like concussion fists and bolt guns, or you can go with a ranged option. In game terms, they work a little bit like Wraithguard, I suppose, is the closest approximate. So very durable.
Yeah, Denzel, I was talking about Star Wars Legions just before you arrived. What do you think of the look of that new CIS box that comes with a shit ton of stuff? You probably got the best value for money box, and like I said earlier, it's $100.
Pictures by the Primarch crest, which sort of rises above his head. There we go in the background.
From what the sales say on the pre-order site, it's $100 per box.
The Leagues of Votan army, I think it's fair to say.
And it's better plastic too.
There's more. The Chthonian Earthshaker channels some really strong energy from that sort of rogue trader era. Do you remember mole mortars for squat
Very
armies?
well, yes.
Okay.
So these are sort of inverse artillery in that rather than lobbing a shot.
Oh, it's like the driller from Gears of War 3.
You can see down at the bottom, deep into the ground. They burrow in on the enemy and emerge in a trench line.
Looks good. I just wish I got the tank when I was in the US. Yeah.
Really lovely sort of dire armor in their own right as well. So you can see the kin there working with the Iron Kin, loading up the artillery. You can see one of them there with his little scanner, almost directing the mole as it kind of buries underground towards the enemy fortifications. Obviously, it's a powerful piece in game. You've got all sorts of
the AAT is solar everywhere. Damn, that fucking sucks, man.
Maybe doesn't have a huge amount of very long range.
I might be able to get one for you. Let's see.
Yeah, I think it's a great kit, really.
Awesome.
I'll check on the site I go to normally, and I'll let you know.
So the Capricus is one of those kits that makes two things. You can see here the Capricus Defender. We'll show you the Capricus Carrier in a minute. Essentially, it is either a sort of attack vehicle for the Hernkin.
I do like the hover vehicles that the dwarves have.
So this is the carrier.
I forget what it reminds me of. Like, actually no, I remember what it reminds me of. It reminds me of the ships from the Matrix, with the electrical cylinders that help them just like fly around.
Yeah, so it adds a bit of a mobility into your Leagues of Votan force.
Tampon launcher.
Carries 5 models, so it works a little bit like the other kind of Leagues of Votan transports where you pick one of your units, it can split into 2 groups of 5. 5 of them can ride around in one of these. If you've got 2 of the transports, you can obviously ride them around in 2 of the transports. And as you say, Adam, you can choose between either having the transport option or you can just have all the guns and have a fast-moving fire support unit.
Yeah,
Cool.
This is what made me march off to Warhammer World yesterday and buy the home.
There's some really lovely little touches on this. The stowage bag.
Don't bullshit. You don't buy
like
from
that you can
Homeworld,
build this
from
into
Warhammer
Iron
World.
Kin
You
as well.
bought it
If you've got an
from
Iron Kin pilot and an Iron
a
Kin
different
gunner,
store where you
can
get
build it like
20%
that.
off.
Fans of Iron Kin
Like
generally,
everyone
there
always
is a lot
does.
of Iron Kin
Yeah, you've
in
done
this
quite well
Leagues
this
of
week.
Votan
Yeah,
release.
absolutely so.
Unless he gets 50% off.
There's also
'Cause he's
a,
technically an
combat
employee.
patrol for the Leagues of Votan on the
Oh,
way.
a new combat patrol.
Familiar with combat
Imagine
patrols,
paying
familiar with
£100 or $150 for that. Fuck
Or
off.
to bolster an army if you've already got one. This one really focuses on those sort of kin bands that make up the mainstay of the Porsche. You've got the Thunderers in the background, the Hearth Guard in the middle.
Since looking into Star Wars Legions, my eyes have been opened to how fucking scummy Games Workshop are.
So it's all good stuff. A couple of boxes of these and then a couple of the new units, and you've got an army
You're
basically.
away. Yeah, absolutely so. Now, on to, for many people's opinion, I expect the main event of this release. This is Bury Agneson. Eddie?
So Bury Agneson is the last survivor.
That's
of
why you switch
the
hobbies. I get
Votan
it.
Clan, which has been consumed by the encroaching Tyranid menace.
Oh yeah,
He is now
Denzel.
been priced
Malachi
out.
switched
Tyranid
to
monsters
Magic the
eaten
Gathering.
this guy.
So
But
yeah.
that wasn't enough to keep him down. He clawed his way out.
No,
of
it's a
his
shame because I mean,
climbed
you
his
could have
way
come and
back
played
out
with
to
us when we were in
times,
America because
and now
Com got us to play
goes
too.
across the galaxy, across the kin warbands as a roving Tyranid killing specialist.
Yeah,
effectively.
absolutely. He, in terms of specialist, he is an absolutely elite combat unit. He's equipped with that Dark Star Glaive, which you see there, which is called Bane. He's pure violence in melee form.
I think
It definitely seems like they got some of their good designers back because the last year or so, the sculptors have been fucking awful.
This guy advancing either on his own or alongside, kind of behind your forces, and swooping in on the big enemy monsters and stuff that get forward to threaten your battle line.
Yeah, and his lore really comes into it. So he's a member of, well, he's the only member now of an organisation called the Emberg Aegir Bloc, which is one of the Leagues of Votan. Literally wiped out down to the very last kin, which is this guy. And so he's so bitter, his whole life is devoted now to just hunting down the Tyranid menace and supporting other leagues to stop the same thing happening to them. And you see that played out on his model. He's got this sort of belt buckle, which very much looks like he's sort of taken some affectations from the Tyranids. He's got what looks like we've been having quite a discussion about this, a Tyranid Prime sort of cadaver.
I think it's a
over his-
Tyranid
I can't
Prime.
wait to have a friend 3D print
There's a
this.
nice little nod in this model as well.
Or I just won't bother.
There's the idea at some point that the squats were eaten by the Tyranids.
Yeah, absolutely. We
And
used to-
this guy kind of goes, well, yeah, they were eaten by the Tyranids, but also they clawed their way out again. So there is a little bit of truth to that. Sort
Why
of,
is it all Tyranids? It's always Tyranids.
outdated understanding, maybe.
Um,
of that faction.
Fantastic. And all this obviously will be supported with
Tyranids are
codex
kind of the main
and
thing in 10th edition.
which contains, this is I've had quite a while to read this week. It's just full of spankingly good lore. It's got great rules and art.
Like, since the Leviathan box set, they've really been going hard on Tyranids.
There's too much
Because
going
the
into it.
Leviathan box set
Detail here.
came out with the 10th
There's
edition
probably
rulebook,
the
and
which is the sort of
the
army
4th Tyrannic War, which I currently have a
Yeah, so
video
yield points
pending
effectively,
on,
changes the way your
is,
army moves over the course of the game.
yeah.
And it works in the way that the Leagues
Yeah,
of Votan
Tyranids are
approach
just really important
acquisition, effectively.
this
So
edition.
Early on in the game, when you haven't got very many yield points, you're getting bonuses for attacking enemy units on objectives for the most part across your army. And then later on, once you've acquired yield points, you get bonuses for having your own units on objectives. So they get better at defending them, better bonuses for their own defense, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it
so
sort of encourages you to play in that very sort of acquisition-focused way that the Leagues of Votan work.
And it's a really great mechanic, right? Because it's exactly how you win games of Warhammer 40,000.
Yeah.
Early on, you kick people off objectives. Later on, you hold on to the objectives. So
And
Cool.
some of the
Powerful.
new units that we've shown and some of the units that already exist in the Votan army now have rules that key into that. For example, the Memnir Strategist just lets you increase or decrease your yield score by 1 each turn.
Yeah.
So
No idea what that
really
means.
sort of thoughtfully put in.
I haven't
for
played
this guy
the
who's
game
sort of
more than a few
helping the
times.
sort of tactical function of your
I
army
play Lord of the
go
Rings
nuts
more.
and help you out.
Yeah.
We should show some of the models.
let's do it, yeah,
So we've got some in front of us.
Yeah, we
We're
should
going
show
to
some of the
talk
models.
about
What the fuck have you been doing for the past 10
Edit
minutes?
So there'll be a bit of sort of scale comparison here, but here you can see this is the Arcanist, and then you've got the Memnir. They're like normal Votan sized, so any kin is about the same sort of proportion as those. And here you can see
Wow.
just how sort of much bigger.
It's a little bit taller,
the
so instead of
are.
5 in a
I
box,
think
you're going to
your
get
comparison
3.
made to compare them to Wraithguard is really quite fair.
Yeah, they're about the
actually.
same size as a Wraithguard. It's kind of in that ballpark of kind of medium heavy infantry. This is the new artillery piece. It's maybe not like as big as something like an Imperial Guard tank or something like that, but compact, mobile, that sort of thing, fitting in with the aesthetic of the rest of the Leagues of Votan. You can sort of imagine it starting life as a piece of mining equipment, and they've sort of evolved it into a weapon.
You can definitely see sort of some of those origins.
So I just know already.
Super cool bits on it. This guy here, you can see over his shoulder, he's got the data slate.
Yep.
You've got this
All
sort
these
of,
characters. Imagine paying
dome
$30 to $45 for just one of those guys. Yeah.
On this side, you've got a case. with
Absolutely
more of the
fucking
shells.
ridiculous.
You get spare shells to put on their own bases.
Those drilling
It's
things will
just
probably come in a
really
box of
thoughtfully
2.
designed, Very exciting kit.
Probably.
So we should show more though, because this is by no means the end of it.
Absolutely, we've got the Capricus here, so just make some space on the table so we can have a look at this guy. So this is your new vehicle. This is the Defender pattern, which is the gun version. And as you can see there's a little bit of space, not quite enough space for transport on this one, but there is one which is a transport vehicle. But I really like the Ironkin on this. It's actually
It's got like a tiny little
he's
chair.
quite small, yeah, because they wouldn't fit a full-sized kin in there, so they've given him a little tiny Ironkin, actually perfectly designed for the role.
Absolutely, and I guess the star of the show himself in many ways.
There he is.
Agnir
So the
Burrison.
thrice devoured there.
Wow, look at that
still
tactical
kind of
rock he has.
thin-sized, but you can have a look on this model here that so much of him is now bionic, right? So he's been chewed up and
Bionic fingers that do it.
yeah, chewed up
Really
and
cool.
spat out so many
Ugh.
times that like his arms.
Alright,
his arms
I've had
were
enough of
his face
dwarves.
for
Get
a
onto something that
kind of
isn't.
unspecified amount of his
dwarves.
body has probably been
Get onto
dissolved by horrible
the
certain
Imperium, the
bioacids
good
in his
guys.
stomach and things, but he's still kicking. And it also shows how durable the kin are, right? So they're specially designed by their Votan to be durable, to endure kind of the most hostile conditions, and he's a good example of how that's kind of manifesting.
Yeah, it's really cool, isn't it? So I think we've covered the league pretty thoroughly, right?
Yeah.
Alright,
Before
good.
we, move on.
Oh,
we're going to go
never
to the
mind.
old world next. A couple of sort
The
of
old world,
housekeeping bits.
but,
The first one would be we're going to return to the 41st millennium at the end of the preview. So particularly if you like Kill Team, but also there's some other things for other factions as well. Do hang around if you like Warhammer 40,000. The only
Right.
thing I would say is
So they bait us with
lots of
40k at the
people
beginning, and they want
joining
people
us
to
from
stick
around the
around to the
world.
end.
You can
So
interact with our social teams. We have international social teams that manage our various sort of social media.
should
places.
throw the new
There they are.
models against the
If you
brick
wanna,
wall to test how
get
high
involved in
quality they
conversation,
are. True.
language which suits you. go
Very
on,
true.
they're really lovely people. They're really engaged and want to, sort of make sure that you get to hear about Warhammer in the language that suits you. So, and if
No,
you,
learn
speak
English, idiot.
English, or you're willing to take a pot shot at it.
It's the only
we've got
language
our
that
socials as
matters.
well, so,
Sorry, my Dutch audience.
conversation.
Yeah, we'll see you there. Yep.
Right, time for a little bit of Warhammer: The Old World.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, first
Ooh.
up, we have brand new units for the Tomb Kings of Khemri. This is a new multi-part plastic kit that makes the Royal Heralds. The easiest way to describe these is
It's
you
pretty
have a
cool.
battle standard bearer, and you have a new hero / lord. You could make that and call it a Tomb Prince or a Tomb King. I think it's up to you.
I do like the
Yeah,
square
battle standards, which
bases.
you can put on either thing. So if you fancy a faster moving battle standard, stick it on the horse guy. If you fancy him like standing around in one of your big regiments of skeleton warriors or tomb guard, then go for the on foot version. There's some options in terms of head things as well. Battle standard bearers are key to Warhammer armies. If you play the old world, you'll know.
Yeah, I love this battle standard. That kind of weird scorpion. Both the paint scheme and the model itself are very cool. As you say, this is multi-part as well, so you can swap and change if you want the faster one. If you've got lots of chariots or something in your army,
Yeah,
you can mix them in.
Hmm.
I would imagine there's a fair bit of customizability between this kit and some of the other Tomb Kingy bits as well.
Yes, yeah.
I wonder if we're gonna get more Lord of the Rings. I'm actually really hoping for more Lord of the Rings.
This isn't the only new
because,
coming for the Tomb Kings of Khemri. We also
there's
have
more
the
old than new,
who
quite
are
frankly.
Fundamental to the workings, literally. Of the
I mean, one of the newer
Absolutely
models
Lich Priest
is
your army
Prince
is your army
Imrahil
king.
and
Your army only
his
went up because you had Lich Priests.
Swan
It's
Knights.
their job to kind of keep the magic
For
flowing,
one,
keep
for
the
whatever
magic
reason,
flowing.
that's one of the
Again,
few
this is a
things in Lord of the
multi-part
Rings that's actually got a new release.
You can see there perhaps a little.
AMA
less
got a new
dead
model.
than some of the other Khemri, but
That's
they're still
really
very-
good.
Definitely,
Desiccated skin
yes,
hanging
definitely
on.
desiccated. Definitely spent far too long in the desert inside a pyramid somewhere. I love the vulture on the top of the staff. I
Yeah,
think it's really
absolutely.
good.
So thanks for bringing that back. It's a really lovely image of these sort of
Underworlds.
creatures that have sort of come alive
Yeah.
through the magic of the rituals. That
I
have
think
been
you.
done.
Oh, yeah, I
like,
forgot
right down to
Underworlds
the piece of
existed.
Warhammer art, doesn't
Yeah,
it? Like,
the mounted guy in particular, I think they're both exquisite. But the mounted guy, from sort of the perfect angle, he just looks like the artwork, and I mean that as the highest possible compliment. Tomb King veterans might be wondering if that's extra armor on the skeletal steed. It certainly is. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment.
Okay.
Because you can have a barded skeletal steed, which I think might be quite useful if you're used to terrible armor saves in your Tomb King's army. I guess we can talk about that now. If we go across to also coming out is a new arcane journal, The War of Cetra's Fury. Cetra, the imperishable, is very, very angry. His lands have been defiled. He feels like he owns everything. And he is launching a full-scale invasion northward into the sort of border region between the Empire and Bretonnia, sort of known as the Vaults. It's also inhabited by some dwarfs.
Alright, I
You've got
can't lie.
princess
I
barons and
don't really
nobles
care
of
for the old world.
Bretonnia. And
So I'm gonna go
the
get a
Central
drink of
Valley
water.
defense
I'll be
is
right
a
back.
full-scale
Enjoy the
invasion
chariot.
of the undead from Khemri. There are rules for sort of allied forces, playing smaller games in like a timely and interesting fashion. It's just packed, and it's a really cool way of looking at the lore of the old world and how they're sort of explaining the things that took place in this particular part of the Warhammer timeline.
Yeah, it's great to get some new lore for the old world as well. I think.
Yeah,
it's,
absolutely.
the team diving into the opportunities that the world allows them to have.
And see what I mean about the artwork, right? Sort of the guy in the center, like it just in this piece, it really just screams the imagery that we saw before. I love it. There's another arcane journal coming, which is equally exciting. Just happens at the other side, quite literally, of the region in the old world known as the old world. This is Dawn of the Storm Dragon, and it features a bold strategic move made by Miao Ying, who's the lady pictured in the center. She's one of the children of the Dragon Emperor, and she learns of the Chaos Invasion, which is happening in the north, and is concerned that it's going to gain too much traction. So loads ships full of Grand Cathayan soldiers and sails to the Empire, sets up an enclave, and helps to try and stymie this Chaos Invasion. In real terms, that's A, a cool story, and B, there's rules in there for all sorts of things, including the opportunity to have an allied force of Grand Cathay and the Empire of Man.
That's exciting.
Good
That's
girl.
exciting.
That is
We've
really
never had
cool,
anything
yeah.
like that before, really, have we?
Oh, we're
Yeah,
still talking about this
and I
book.
think this is
Okay.
sort of a great example of
And we're back.
bold and exciting things that the studio team responsible for the old world are doing. They clearly love the setting. They want to explore it in really rich and vibrant detail.
Sounds great.
Absolutely. So we should throw over to Question Corner and see if Simon
Question
got any,
Corner?
Yeah, what have you-
questions for us.
What have you got for us, Simon?
Loads and loads of questions. I think the majority of them are focusing on the Leagues of Votan. There's loads of shiny new toys coming out there, of course. So the first one is actually about the judgment tokens. Are they still a thing? Obviously, we've got the yield rules, but what about judgment tokens?
So the focus in terms of the army.
Yeah, we already know you've ruined Warhammer Horus Heresy, so thank you for that. Let's see if you've removed anything else from any other factions. Hey, Capture, welcome.
Through as much stuff as we can, as fast as we can. We'll cover way more detail about Votan rules and mechanics and all those things as we lead towards it. But you're in for some subtle changes in the way the Leagues of Votan work, and it's quite exciting.
We are looking
We've got
at
another one which were
stuff.
the funky drill shell tokens on the Chthonian Earthshaker. What do they represent?
So I do have a really short and candid answer for that. You saw them on the little base beside. The kit comes designed for you to have two of those. If I remember correctly, and don't like sue me internet if I get it wrong, you put them down alongside the Earthshaker when you deploy, and you can remove one from the game to give yourself rerolls on.
Removed what in Horus?
So,
They've removed like
yeah,
Tartarus Terminators
like,
with Power Fist, they've
representative
removed
things.
Destroyers, they've removed a bunch of, you know,
unit is sort of set up so that they have
stuff
these
that
special
people
slots
actually have in their armies.
representing the unit.
There are
Like, right, we're gonna use one
a
of the big
good
ones, it's
few,
important.
I'll say a few. There are loads and loads of people who have said their entire army is now invalidated and they'll have to buy a new one because of 3rd edition for Horus Heresy.
Votan transports where you take a unit of, usually come in 10s, you split the unit in half, so 5 of them can go in that. If you've got 2 of the transports, you can carry both the units round in those, or you can leave 5 of them back on your baseline and deploy them elsewhere.
Grand.
Please
Nice
gift
one.
like
Thank you.
if you. His gift if you like the content.
The old world.
Jesus Christ,
We will go
Malachi.
to the mortal realms instead. There's some exciting things for us to talk about here. And let's start with a new battle tome for Death, the Death Grand Alliance. These are the Flesh Eater Courts. Many of you will be familiar with them. These are the like foul and abominable.
I don't
cannibal
have money.
monstrosities who unfortunately have delusions, quite literally, of being noble,
Doing my
and,
modelly
elegant
duties.
and chivalric, and the truth couldn't be sort of further from that.
Yeah, they absolutely imagine that they are in service to some grand king on perhaps a grand crusade of some sort, or part of a pageant, or a noble feast of some sort, but are in fact horrible, degenerate cannibals, as you say. The new battle tome has all the stuff that you would expect.
It's
Lots of
okay,
ways to
man.
Use your army, new magic
Until I
abilities,
get a new
new
computer and
attachments,
can
changes to
stream
some of the way the war scrolls
proper
work, so lots of
good
exciting stuff.
things and
perhaps most
interesting
exciting, there
things
is a new miniature,
and do
on the way
unique
to
special
printing,
things,
which is the Hive
I
Felgrin. So
don't
much like the rest
really
of the
want
Flesh
people
Eater
to
Courts
give
list,
me their
he is
money.
under an illusion. His particular delusion is that he is a falconer in charge of noble and wise avian
By the
creatures.
way,
In fact,
you
he is in
or
charge of
Com
a
need a
swarm of
sponsorship
rabid
for
bats,
Bad Dragon.
The model is very characterful. Like he's got his kind of weird, crazy hat. He's got
You can see
kind of
the almost like the vestiges of that nobility that you were just referring to, right? He's got like a very sort of like huntsman-y style.
All right,
sort of
okay, I'm back.
tattered robes of a person that
Got
might be performing
disturbed.
activity,
But yeah,
sort of
no,
same
it's a
creed.
very
I'm-
fun.
I'm-
It's a very fun
I-
miniature.
I-
I think
we're not doing a
the
sponsor
first
for
you can
Bad
just
Dragon.
remember There's a bat that comes with him, which is basically a token that represents something in the game, where he sends one of his falcons off to spy an enemy unit, and that can give you bonuses in games, basically.
Here's
So
the Plump
these are the kind of spy,
3000.
the
I
ivory
tested out earlier
sword.
today.
And if you direct it to an enemy unit, it can give your squires, your kind of ghouls, bonuses against that enemy unit. You can do things like take away their ward save.
Oh, true. You gotta test out the products, man. Really high quality stuff. Not that I would know.
There's also,
Sure.
accompanying this,
Sure.
release for the Flesh Eater
How's your
Courts,
wife doing, by the way?
This is a new spearhead, so you can use it straight in games of spearhead, or you can use this to bulk out, or maybe you can use this to bulk out your existing Flesh Eater Courts army. This is a fast-moving, hard-hitting, infantry-focused spearhead. It's got models that you'll be very familiar with, and the way that they synergize within this game, within Spearhead, is really fun.
Doing
They
good?
expect
Good.
Sort of lightning assaults, and then using monstrous-sized infantry to sweep the enemy away.
Yeah, also a great start to a larger Age of Sigmar
absolutely.
army for Flesh Eater Courts. It combos really nicely with the existing.
Wait, was that a combat patrol?
Spearhead. So
There was
you've got
like
all
10
the
models in
cannons
that.
and you've basically got most of an army. Yeah, some really good stuff. A couple of the cannibal monkeys in there as well, which are
It's what
always
everybody
a
needs,
winner.
right?
Who doesn't love that?
There's another battle tome for the sort of Death faction, which is
Battle
the
Tome.
Nighthaunt.
Oh,
We
that's a
have
book.
Battle Tome Nighthaunt. They're a very popular, iconic faction within the Mortal Realms. They sort of had their place within the second edition of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and they've really sort of cemented their spot as sort of beloved. This book is like ram-packed with the lore that explains them all, as well as all of the
Cool.
war scrolls and information that you would need. I was talking to an avid Nighthaunt player about this yesterday, who was super excited because he's sort of in the know enough to know, for example, that their ward saves are improving across the board, and so he's.
I wonder if I could get a hold of like
Yeah, there's some significant defensive buffs for the Nighthaunt, certainly.
PDFs for all the
generally speaking, you find that the
AOS,
units have a bit
fantasy,
more
and
health,
40k and
the way
Horus
that
Heresy
their,
books that I could just read from them instead of needing to like buy old ones.
Generally, their normal saves are a little bit worse, but you can now bolster them with things like all-out defense, and their ward saves are across the board a 5 up or better, which is pretty solid.
Yeah, perfect. But let's get on to the model, which is brand new, coming out with.
Oh, that looks shit.
Lord Vitriolic. This is a very disturbing creature. In life, it was something like a poisoner or a.
I don't like that at all. I think that looks shit.
Potions and curatives who deceives people and sort of let them down or led them to ruin. And Nagash is able to claim his soul because of his sort of malpractice, his evil deeds, and has reformed.
What happened to making stuff free? It's Games Workshop.
Vitriolic, with like backward jointed arms on top of his spine. He's horrible, but really fun in the game.
Yeah, so he's got some very fun rules. So basically,
Yeah, that
you
looks
see
crap. I don't
potions
like that at
on the
all.
back
Like,
there,
at all.
And the way that manifests in games is you can create specialist potions and throw them at enemy units. And you've got two options on how you do that. You can either just chuck a bunch of random potions.
Didn't they
at the
do
enemy
free
and roll
PDFs
random
and
things
shit?
see what happens to them,
For a
or
little
you
bit,
can
as far as
choose
I'm
a very
aware,
specific potion to do a specific job.
But
The effects of those can range from things like
yeah.
doing harm to the enemy unit, taking away some of their advantages, all the way through to things like stripping ward saves from enemy units. So
that one looks.
it's a
particularly appealing.
really good little problem-solving unit. So you can go right. What enemy am I facing? What I'd really like against this is this specific.
I thought
bonus or this
the
specific
free
buff to the enemy
PDFs,
unit
it was
because it's
literally
really
like
good. So I think
it'd come out with the
we're
book
gonna see a
and
lot
you
more
have to buy the book. And then if we make changes to the rules because we didn't fucking playtest our game because we're lazy cunts, then we'll give you a free PDF.
It's just all the ghosts all the time, right? An absolutely brilliant box loaded with everything you'd want to either kickstart an army, reinforce an army, or play games of Spearhead.
Yeah, it's
It's
very
definitely the
cool.
best
And
combat
obviously
patrol I've
it's very
seen, but
easy
it's
to
still
do
shit.
level army.
Yeah, absolutely. Those things were cool,
They're cool.
but there's a lot of people here who have been holding onto their hats really patiently, hoping that we maybe, show them something they've never ever seen before.
That would certainly be cool.
Well, why don't we?
Most
start
a
with
Space Marine lieutenant. What the fuck? This Chaos Dwarfs?
What an incredible reveal, Eddie! I know you're super excited.
I am very excited. This might be my new Age of Sigmar army. These are the Hellsmiths of Hashut. These are effectively the reincarnation of the Chaos Dwarf.
Ah, I told you, Chaos Dwarves.
An entirely redesigned and brand new army coming out first in an
Okay,
army
that's
set,
cool. I like that.
Alongside its new battle tome. The army set also serves as the spearhead force for the Hellsmiths of Hashut. These models are phenomenally cool. The rules are great. The lore is great. I love absolutely everything about them. Let's dive into the miniatures.
I think first thing I want to say
excited.
is let's talk about like why they are these when
The big
kind of
bull guy
dwarves
with cannons,
happened
yeah,
in
it's
the
really
Mortal
cool.
Realms, the Duardin,
See all like
they-
the chaos
they
goo,
survived in their holds or they
goo
discovered
gas coming out of
or
it.
whatever.
Can we
but
have
not these
rats?
guys.
But not
these
so
guys.
I'm
the
sure we'll get
Dark
rats
the,
soon.
the
Soon.
Chaos Duardin, who would become known as the Hellsmiths of Hashut, they instead turned to Hashut, an ancient and terrible Duardin deity who taught them the ways of hellsmithing.
Yeah.
So, and their whole culture is based around Hashut, the Bull Father. And we're going to see that
Hashut.
sort of writ large across all of these models. Let's dive into the first.
Kind of a
that appears in
stupid
this new
name,
army
but
set.
okay.
These are the Infernal Cohort with Hashutite spears. Say that fast if you can. They are the core
Infernal
unit of the
Cohort.
Hellsmith
Fuck, I
Army.
already fucked it up.
Um,
Infernal
they are
Cohort with
combat
Hashutite spears.
units straight
Did
off
it.
the bat. These are very dangerous Duardin indeed. And
All I
those
wanted
Hashutite
was some
spears
new
just
different guard
infernal
regiment
warriors
models.
that contains
Hey man,
imprisoned,
they're bringing
ground
40k
down
back at the
rituals
end of the
of
show. It's
demons,
okay.
'cause
Yeah,
that's
so-
how they roll.
It's
So
possible.
the demon legions that invaded
possible.
various Duardin holds during the Age of Chaos. Some of them took over the holds, but where the Hellsmiths of Hashut dwelled, they instead trapped those demon legions and decided to weaponize them into a fuel to power their war machines, their weapons, and their technology. So that green glow, as you say, is ground up demon juice that is powering the weapons of the Hellsmith.
Yeah,
I like
it's so
the-
cool. Things to talk about within this unit.
I like the
obviously,
swords.
Like a unit champion, you see,
But those types of
you've got
swords,
a
they're
musician,
cool.
Which is like this weird combination.
The
of
banners are
chest,
neat and tidy, which
Duardin,
is
and a
nice.
Hobgrot carrying a
The
massive
helmets
helmet,
are
and
interesting.
obviously a standard bearer. It's a two-for kit. That's like internalism for this.
I think what's interesting is the fact that all these Chaos Dwarves have orc-like teeth.
Shorter ways of killing people. They have different profiles within the game.
Yeah,
and
both
they're
very useful. The spears generally are your slightly more defensive thing, so you get bonuses against the enemy that's charging you. Against
But they are really, really
swords,
neat
which is a slightly
models.
More offensive option where you get bonuses.
They
for
look
fighting
like
the infantry and taking
they
the
look
fight.
very similar to
Both
Iron
effectively
Hill's
heavily
dwarves.
armored elite infantry.
Yeah, absolutely so. And you can paint them in different colours. The studio team's done a lovely job. The banner in the middle.
course you can paint them in different colours. They come in fucking plastic. You can paint them whatever you like, you dumb cunt.
Banner, right, with the Bullfather's rune above. They live in ziggurat cities, and each one is ruled by.
Why they all only have
Blackbeard?
Blackbeard? Because they're evil.
Here is the war.
And we all know black is evil.
Oh, you planned the whole thing.
This is my favourite model within this.
It's a great
army set.
hat.
It might be
It's a
my
great hat.
my favourite of the Hellsmiths. It's just so good.
Dude's got a revolver in his
Hat,
back
great
pocket.
Spikes. He's carrying an enormous warglaive, which is glowing. See the runes at the top glowing with this sort of eldritch power. The war despots, they have to rule through a mixture of sort of violence and also through just ensuring that everybody around them knows that they are the nastiest, toughest of all of the Hellsmiths. So they are dominant figures.
Yeah, like any Duardin, they couldn't demand the loyalty of their followers unless they were able to lead from the front, basically. So they're not cowardly, but they certainly are diabolical schemers, sort of thing. So they will lead their armies into battle proudly, but certainly not go for a fair
And
fight.
their whole
Cool.
reason for being as an entire culture is it's just like weaponized greed. They
Hell
plunder
yeah.
and take from the land and they give nothing back.
Weaponized greed. What does that remind you of?
Cruel in the extreme, because that's how they
Remember,
survive.
kids, as Mario taught us, we need all colours in the rainbow,
don't see
except
themselves as
black.
corrupted through
There
that.
is no black in rainbows.
There's no physical side effects at all to what they've gone through.
An interesting sub point. They see themselves as almost the paragons of purest order, right?
Yeah.
So they've taken the assault of chaos and they've ground it down and created like order from chaos. But in the mortal realms, they're paving
But yeah, no,
the
they
natural
look
order.
really,
You've
really
got
cool.
The monuments to Hashut and the great ziggurats that power their industry.
Yeah, absolutely. Also,
If I had unlimited money,
is
I'm sure I
just
would
this
get these dwarves.
incredible
And yeah,
technology
that is
with
really
so many
fucking
different
cool.
engine. It's another kit that makes two things. So here you can see the immolation cannons. This is a enormous metal creation which is animated and powered by this demon energy.
That is really
Have a
cool.
look at the sort of brazier in its belly. You can see the demonic eyes peering out as like the demonic souls within a torch.
I love the
and
flames on
give
these
it its
things.
power.
That kind of like green into purple fire is just a beautiful
Ugh.
aesthetic. This is both an incredibly cool miniature, which I think I'm looking forward to see what painters do.
This is definitely better than the last show already.
I think once this goes out into the wild and you've got
You're going to see
you know,
incredible interpretation.
yeah, 1,000 painters painted this. It's going to be amazing. I can imagine this in beautiful non-metallics. In game, this thing is an absolute juggernaut, right? So it has a 2-up save, armor save, which in Age of Sigmar is almost unheard of. It has loads of wounds. It hits really hard. The combat version can mulch entire units.
Damn, doesn't show when I clip anymore. What?
Wade into the middle of an enemy army and just set the whole thing on fire. Like a lot of the stuff in the Hellsmiths army, their kind of army mechanic allows you to harness a demon power on specific units, so you can bolster the power of it. And on these, it's particularly devastating.
Fantastic. And we're still not done. Also within the spearhead, you'll find this. This is the Tormentor Bombard.
Cool,
the
cool.
Chaos Dwarfs of old.
Artillery cannon.
Mind back if you're old enough like me to the world that was. The Chaos Dwarfs were renowned for devastating artillery.
I made a clip
that
of you
lots
making your
them
racially
started
charged comment about a
concepts in
certain
reimagined
colour.
Mortal Realms, which is, just
Maybe that's the reason why it didn't show up.
raw demonic power hurled high into the air to come crashing down upon the enemy. It's deadly in the game.
Yeah, this is the war machine you use if you're being advanced on by multiple enemy units. So you can fire at a single enemy unit, and the units nearby also take damage. That's how devastating this is. Very long
okay.
range. I think it shoots 30 inches, which again is very good in Age of Sigmar. I think the Hellsmiths of Hashut, between this and some of their other
Wow, the new army that's
have
getting
played
released,
one of the
that's
most
gonna be
devastating
overpriced
armies
as
in the world.
fuck,
Well, let's talk
is
about that. I
overpowered.
think
Who would have
the
guessed?
Death Shrieker rocket battery, brilliant for just like blowing up the enemy's big impressive things, right?
Yeah, so this is a monster killer, right? So where your other war machine is the thing to take out blocks of enemy infantry and kind of massed formations, this is your... They have one big monster that I want to be dead, and you can fire this at them. And this, with a fair, with decent rolls, will take out a monster in a single volley.
Yeah, you're
which is
firing
pretty good.
essentially a demon energy imbued bolt the size of 2 Duarden, stood sort of head to toe. Yeah, it's grim. This launch set also includes a battle tome. It also includes all of the war scroll cards.
It's cool that they like the
have
gas
with
has like eyes in it. That's pretty cool.
It's the perfect jumping on point for an all new Hellsmith.
Oh, of course it is. Of course, it's the perfect jumping on point.
But that's not it.
But that's not it.
There's more.
Why don't we show you some more?
Oh. Oh. Oh, okay. Okay. So we've got centaurs. Oh, that's what we just saw.
If the launch box wasn't awesome enough, they will be followed shortly thereafter with all of those incredible models that you just saw.
The centaurs and then the guy on the bull dragon.
An impressive Warhammer Age of Sigmar army.
Yeah, immediately out of the gate, you have almost a full army offer, basically, of stuff. And
Oh, they fucked up there. They were showing the wrong thing.
Of Warhammer returning. Bull centaurs have been part of Warhammer for, I think, almost 35 years.
I
Like that.
remember being charged by these when I was like 13. Or
They're pretty cool.
Classic red with green bases back it was in the day. But this is a heavy cavalry unit. They are basically the experts at riding down enemy forces.
Well, like bull the thing that confuses me about like centaurs and bull centaurs is where are their dicks? Are they where they would be on the bull or where they would be on the person?
The Duardin here have kind of warped to be more alike to their ancient ancestor god.
Yeah, absolutely. You said a thing to me earlier that I thought was really striking, which is Hashut's whole thing is like trampling the mortal realms underfoot, right? He's the Dwarven gods sort of inherited a different realm, and he gets stuck with the realm.
So there's loads of really great lore in the new battle.
Or do they have both? Do they have two dicks?
They were the ancestor gods of the Dwarven, and Hashut was almost like one of them, right? He was like one of the pantheon. And he was given the realm of beasts, and he sort of felt that was almost like an insult, right? Like, I don't want the realm of beasts. So rather than trying to kind of be harmonious with it, he decided to just trample it flat. So all of his incarnation of beast power is in the form of trampling, in the form of.
I'd have to guess a regular horse area. That'd be so weird, because I know that there are women that have fantasies about centaurs. So it's like, how would that work? Because I mean, sure, the centaur's gonna be shagging her, but then the centaur's just gonna be looking up to nothing while he's doing it. Because I mean, he's not gonna be able to see her.
Other bull centaurs, although by no means a passive unit, they're just really great at counter-punching. And when you consider how much of the force might be standing back and raining death on the enemy, very useful in their own right. You also get.
I think about weird things.
Nod to that Hashutite culture, sort of breathed into it through these.
Yeah, I love those miniatures. They might be my favourite in the range, those particular sculpts.
They key into that sort of classic imagery that we're used to from before, as does the next unit.
Yeah, but if it's in the regular area in the front, their bodies don't. Their bodies, don't you think that would be an easier target? True. Oh, they're cool.
Long enough in the beard, you might remember Chaos Dwarf blunderbusses from yesteryear.
The absolute terror of Warhammer Fantasy 6th edition, I think.
Yeah, it was diabolical. And these are a very dangerous shooting unit in their own right. Again, they're harnessing that sort of demonic power to operate their weapons. There's no gunpowder necessary here. And the kit makes two options. So you have those and you have the flame hurlers, which... I mean, they hurl flames. There's not much more explanation.
Two options. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'd buy one box, put one set on them, and then if I wanted to use the other one, just say they were the other one.
More range on them. The flame hurlers can fire while you're in combat, which is really handy. So even if the
you can see some heavy Leagues of Votann conversions. It's possible. But the thing is, with a lot of the models they come out with now, is that the way the molds are done, it makes it very, very difficult. A lot of the time, it makes it so you have to build a model and then cut it apart, instead of mix and matching everything and then building it.
Things like heavy cavalry and whole units of armored infantry and stuff like that.
They've made it harder to do conversions and kit bashes. And I don't know why.
Ready for the other end of the spectrum.
Exactly. Yeah. But what if you want some chaff to hurl under the the wheels of the enemy, so to speak? Good news. There is a genial relationship between the
little
and
grots
the hobgrots, who sort of bolster their ranks. Hobgrots are also really into doing awful things and desecrating the world, and so they exist as almost like a.
I'm banging my drum.
The Zardron culture. In exchange for better.
So you buy more, simple as.
Themselves.
No.
Join the army and whack stuff. They fill a really interesting niche in that they are faster than the Hellsmiths.
Love me emperor,
right?
love me money,
so
simple as.
Bang
drum. Look, bang drum, bang drum.
Very good at shooting, but relatively slow. So you're going to be moving on to the objectives late game. but these can scout, as you say, so you can kind of push them forward early in the game, grab those objectives, just get under the feet of enemy units. They will absolutely.
Every time I see a drum now, I just think of the British bloke with the giant beer belly banging his drum. Every single time, that's all I can think about.
We've obviously seen Hobgrots before in the kind of
Look at him.
force, but these are armored and equipped by the Hellsmiths themselves, so they've got slightly better armor maybe than the ones.
None of that sort of eldritch power in the weapons though, not for these guys.
Oh no, they don't get to play with any of the cool demon stuff.
So let's look at some of the extra sort of heroes that join.
Oh, that's cool.
This is the Demon Smith. They are the ones.
This
who do
table
the
has,
smithing, I
like,
suppose it's fair to say.
legs. I
And
mean, I know all tables have
you can
legs,
see
but you know
as
what I
well,
mean.
There's some real sort of hints as to who he is. Obviously a wizard. He's got that demonic power sort of coming out of his hand. He's got his tome, looks like it's sort of etched in. I don't know what
Like
stone.
obsidian jade.
Yeah,
or something
exactly.
Like that, isn't it?
With like vile runes. I think his lectern is animated. In a nutshell, they
How
are.
good is that paint scheme though?
it's
Whoever painted that in the heavy metal team, well done.
Yeah,
Well done,
it's,
guys.
It's just stunning. They fill a particular function because they're the ones that enable all of the.
The painting is
Yeah,
like
they allowed their
fantastic.
kind of army to
I don't know
sort of
how long it
play
takes them to
games
do
with
all
them,
that,
a
but that's
particularly useful
incredible.
thing, as well as
I
being
could
useful, which is
never.
obviously great. They can heal.
I use
your
one
units,
colour for one
so if
thing
you've
and
got
then
any of
move
those
on.
Big infernal engines, or you've got any of your cannons that have been damaged, they can kind of go over and put the power back into them, sort of thing.
Yeah. This kit has another option in it. It also makes an Ashen Elder.
Oh, that's not as
the
cool.
Centaurs, who are the ones who guard the holy sites. This is the person doing the rituals inside the holy sites. And you can see that petrification has started to happen to his skin. The older a Hellsmith gets, the more they start to become like stone. Their skin cracks.
That's
they're
cool.
Very powerful if they have the right magics available.
You can
to
hold
them,
it at
they
bay
can-
a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
maybe.
But Doom is upon them. There's a couple of really interesting things. I like his staff. I'm just going to eulogise about how beautiful it is that the smoke makes it look like a beard. But you had a fascinating fact about the hammer.
Yeah, so there's lots of things that are really fun about this miniature. But if we go for hammer particularly, there's not a lot of hammers in the Hellsmiths of the Hashut, and one of the
With a
reasons is that
shitload of
hammers
hammers, I
are actually
understand
seen
why
as
it's
slightly
called
more favourite
Warhammer.
symbol to the Hellsmiths because they remind them of the other dwarven
Good one.
ancestor gods, which really like hammers. But this particular hammer is blessed in the blood.
Don't mean
of
to be
one of
rude.
the
I don't know why I did
priests.
that. That was
So
a
he would have,
dickhead thing
found
to
a
do.
runesmith or something, or one of the Karajan priests or something,
Yeah.
and then slain them in a sacrifice and blessed the hammer in that blood. So that's why he's the one with the hammer when no other
So
Hellsmiths
if you're
seem to
a
have them.
Fire Slayer player, a Caradron Overlord
Oh, they hate
player,
this guy.
like
Yeah, yeah.
pick on this guy the
Oh,
most, right?
the Karajans and the Fire Slayers really do not get on with the Hellsmiths. Like there is a lot. They've got beef. Basically,
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
them.
So, there's also another character we should talk about. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
Draktar.
This thing.
He's the first demon smith. Back in that ancient time when the Hellsmiths needed to learn to survive, he learned the secrets of this demon smithing from Hashut. He
Yeah,
is
a fucking
truly ancient,
bull dragon.
abominably
That is
powerful.
cool as
You
hell.
see how that manifests his the petrification on the back, like deep trenches of like rock starting to form out of his flesh, horns erupting from his skull. He's mounted on an enormous infernal, my brain's just gone blank, infernal Taurus, just centerpiece written all over him, incredible spot within the lore. Wonderful.
Yeah,
Really, really cool.
It's a 2-for-1 kit as well. Which is
We've had a
really
lot
cool.
of dwarves
It
so
also
far.
makes, your Demon Smith on Infernal Taurus. There's a bunch of options on this kit as well, which is amazing. So I can't wait to see what painters do with this kit particularly because
Yeah,
it is
absolutely.
just asking for a beautiful color scheme. You can imagine.
When
this
are we
in
gonna get a
beautiful
John
with
Warhammer
metallics
model?
or metallics or
At the
glowing
same
greens or
time,
glowing
when we
kind of
get
petrified rock or something else, but again, that kind of manifestation as
fuck, I forgot his
never
name.
deciding to use the natural materials, right? It's always going to be industrial.
Never
in
mind.
some way, or
I was
made
gonna
of
make a
iron
Mortal
or
Kombat joke
stone
about
or
the
something like
And
that.
the only wood on the
guy in the
base is
suit with the
burnt-
balls.
Burnt to
ruined.
cinder.
it's
Yeah,
so
you,
good.
you can imagine him walking through a forest of just like that.
Yeah, should we take a look at some of the models in the flesh? We've got them here in the room with us.
James Workshop?
I've got
Yeah.
myself a little
Yeah, we
line
get
there,
John
but-
Warhammer at the same
Good.
time. We get James
So,
Workshop. Good
here
one.
is,
That
my
was better.
personal favourite
That's
is
definitely better than
Taurus.
what I was going for.
You can see he's a very chunky looking.
This is what
Warhammer.
happens when you
Plus
aren't
this
funny like me.
infernal razor next to him, you get a sense of. Sorry, I'm just making your life harder with the camera there. Perfect.
Johnny Cage?
You
No,
can
not
see,
Johnny Cage, the
like,
other
bigger
one.
stature, more powerful,
In
moving along with the
Armageddon,
demon
there
smith,
was
you can see
a
tiny
guy who was in that the
he's
capture
quite
suit
sort of scrawny, just
that
a
they
little
use
bit.
for
Yeah,
video
so
game
keep going,
characters.
Will, and getting
The
through
the
your
same,
day work.
just for kind of scale purposes, that's the same size.
Yeah, the skin
or
tight
it's
suit with all the white balls over it.
Range, so you get an idea
absolutely.
of the size. Much larger. We have the bull centaur there, so you can see that the power of Hashut sort of coursing through that guy. This is a fairly large cavalry miniature there. It's like
Yeah, that's
on a
pretty
scale
big.
with some of the kind of I guess like Agrodon sort of size, that kind of.
Yeah, he's big to say the least, but not as big as, terrible segue. Here we go. Just
even beefier. you
Yeah,
could say.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Smaller than I thought it would be.
Such a cool model. I think you can have a few of these in your army.
Not Quan Chi, right? No, not Quan Chi.
Expect to see a few of these.
Quan Chi doesn't have balls all over him,
Yeah,
unless you look at a certain website.
To the main event. So if I squeeze some of these,
We'll
guys
run
out
out of
the way,
space. There's too much stuff in this release. It doesn't all fit on the table.
I don't think anybody will be complaining.
Nobody will be complaining.
there we
It's
go.
me.
You can see the two war machines.
Again, these have got like really lovely little dioramas on the back, so you've got multiple characters sort of with different roles across the artillery piece, like
Yeah, absolutely.
funneling the demonic power into the engine or stoking the furnace and that sort of thing. A little bit like the Leagues of Votan artillery we saw before. These are just like wonderful little pieces in their own
Yeah,
right.
yeah. But let's bring in Uraktar, shall we?
Yeah, he's
and
the big guy. Here he is.
round this all.
All right. See. Oh, okay.
So I mean, this
That's
is,
a proper size.
a fairly big model.
Towers above even the Dominator engine.
There you go.
Just exceptional. There'll be loads more pictures of this on WarhammerCommunity.com, and you
Very
can see
cool.
it all in more detail. There's probably some bits and pieces of information that we left out. We need to move on.
Yeah, we need to get
Right.
That was
Before I
very
do-
cool. Very
Before
cool.
I do, one more thing. I'm aware that lots of people in the chat might be keen to know about Warcry and whether or not Warcry is relevant here. The Warhammer Studio team are going to publish rules for using Hellsmiths of Hashut for Warcry when they release.
Yep.
So keep your eyes peeled on the Warhammer community.
Mocap, that's the one. Mocap man.
models
That's who I was
in
thinking
Warhammer
of.
in your games.
Yeah, so not only
Yeah.
will be a full new army for Warhammer,
We'll
HCR,
get-
they will also feature manufactured in Warcry.
We'll
as well.
get John
And
Warhammer
also-
when we get
Yes,
Mocap
good,
Man
that's
in
a
Mortal
segue
Kombat 2
seamlessly
movie.
into the Warhammer Underworlds. So welcome to Spikewood. This is an expansion for Warhammer Underworlds. It's the scene is.
Did you see the trailer for that, by the way?
You have a Hellsmiths of Hashut warband fighting against.
You forgot he was in Armageddon? Mate, every character is in Armageddon. It's Armageddon!
Yeah, there's a strong rivalry in the Mortal Realms between the Hellsmiths, who are all about.
Oh, it's Underworlds. There you go, Malachi. Your favourite thing.
Who are all about protecting nature, and the Kenothi are a particularly kind of warlike aspect of that, following the kind of absence.
Told you we'd get Underworlds. We always get
Defend the
Underworlds.
wild
No one
in the
cares.
Mortal Realms.
Yeah, so here you can see the two warbands. So this is an expansion, as we say, for Emberguard, and you have the Hellsmiths, you have the Kenothi. The Blood of the Bull is the Hellsmiths unit. Bottom left-hand corner, you have a War Despot. Her
Technically, not
army
every
advances
character is in
despite
Armageddon.
suffered a strategic
Which one
reversal.
isn't? Which
Read
character isn't in
the
Armageddon?
remaining warriors, her inner circle, and she's waiting on reinforcements before she can raise the place to the ground. So she finds herself contesting it, obviously, against.
Shit, which character isn't in
You've
Armageddon?
got some great archetypes in the mix there as well. I particularly like the Hobgrot.
He deserves a call out, doesn't he?
He does, because if you've been playing Warhammer for a very long time,
Jesus,
you may
I can't think of
remember
that.
Goblins from Warhammer Fantasy Battle, and there was a unit called Throat Cutters, I think it
I
was,
think
or
so,
Throat
yeah.
Slitters. He is basically a
Bruce
Hobgrot
Willis.
from
It's really
Scotland,
lovely.
It's really lovely to see.
Yeah, and they've got their rules reflect that sort of plunder, take what you want, decimate the landscape just for the joy of it sort of mentality. The other warband in this set is, he says, well, there we go.
The
Colonels,
other
Heralds,
warband. 3 models.
there's 3
Wow.
of them in the kit. They make these Kenothi.
How much are you going to
Each come
charge
out
for
with
those
them in
3
terms of, like,
models?
their rules and how they play.
£40.
So they're defensive, because they're holding what they've got. They're not interested in stealing other people's stuff. They just want to protect their.
Which is like
their
$60, by the way.
So while they're in their own area of the board, if you're an Underworlds player, you'll be familiar with the sort of mechanic. They're better, so they're better at defending
Yeah.
their own
So
objectives.
it's quite an interesting warband then, because they're quite a fast warband, and usually you expect that to be quite aggressive.
Yeah.
But your bonuses are for defensive play.
Yeah, so redeploying, fighting in different areas in your own area, and just
I love these miniatures. I think we've seen Kenothi in Underworld.
Oh, shit.
This is a kind of
If you count the new MKs after Shinnok event,
I looked at them too.
there
long
won't
and I was
be
disturbed by their gems.
Cassie Cage, Jackie Briggs,
Glowing
Aaron
belly
Black,
buttons.
Ferrital.
I dig it.
Oh yeah, I
I'm
know.
here for glowing belly buttons.
So there we go. Awesome stuff also for Warhammer Underworlds. What an awesome set of releases for Warhammer Age of Sigmar.
And 10 years.
Which is kind of a shame.
Yeah,
Aaron
10 years
Black
ago,
will go
releases,
down as the most underutilized
the
cool character in
Warhammer
MK ever.
The birth of Warhammer Age of Sigmar. We're going to be sort of showing over the coming year a whole bunch of interesting things to do with the Mortal Realms. So if you enjoy Warhammer Age of Sigmar, you're in for a good time.
Yeah. It's taken the Hellsmiths a long time to get
Like,
there, isn't it?
yeah,
But
he
He
they
was
are only
literally
number
just
four,
there
so-
to get beat up. A
respectively,
cowboy
the
taken out of time
5 more
to
things
fight in Mortal Kombat,
We're already getting the move along.
and he just becomes
there
a
are
jobber.
4 more boxes.
A
coming
guy
for
to
Warhammer
just get
Underworld.
beat so
Each box
fucking
contains 6 warbands. Each box also synergizes with a particular faction. So this is the Order one, the Seekers in Shadow, and it contains 4 warbands from the Order faction, Grand Alliance, I should say. This is the Death one. These are the Reavers of Ruin, the Chaos warbands, and we've saved my favourite to last because I'm allowed to. The Gits and Goliaths, the Destruction warbands. Each anybody who plays Warhammer Underworlds will know each Warhammer Underworlds warband is lovely, right? They're just characterful and they home into a different part of the Mortal Realm setting. And you get 4 in a box. It's delightful. To play with them, you would need to pick up this, which is the Warbands of Spitewood. It contains all the cards and everything that you want. So whether you fancy playing with them in Warhammer,
So why not just put the cards and everything in the box with all the models?
into Warhammer Age of Sigmar, or just
What?
having some different hobby experiences. There's 16 opportunities in 4 boxes.
There are every one of those boxes is all killer, no filler. There are some beautiful miniatures in there, including the crab, the Ideneth crab.
Perfect. Yeah. So I think we actually are at the end of the Warhammer. Age of
We
Sigmar
are now at
section.
the end of the Mortal Realms.
It would be a good time to check in on Question Corner and see if there are in fact any questions.
Yeah, there's loads. People are very, very excited to hear about the Hellsmiths joining Warcry. That'd be really cool. As well.
Fantastic. We're really pleased because we want them to be able to play with them and enjoy them.
Yeah, and of course the range is stunning, so people are super pumped about that. So there's a bit of confusion about the Grand Alliance that they come from. So presumably they come from the Chaos Grand Alliance, and if so, how do they fit in with the rest of the Chaos?
Yeah, so I can take that one. So the Hellsmiths of Hashut have a slightly interesting relationship with several factions in the Mortal Realms. They are definitely in the Chaos Grand Alliance. So despite what they themselves believe, they probably are corrupted by Chaos at least a little bit.
You don't get to play with that much demon
You
power.
know,
Why do they have
you
such a
have tusks
crappy
growing out of your
camera?
face and horns growing out,
and you're turning to stone.
yeah, I mean, something's gone a little bit demonic there. But they would consider themselves as kind of champions of order, but they are in the Chaos Grand Alliance. They also trade with the various forces of Chaos, so perhaps Chaos warlords and things would go to their ziggurats and be served with like weapons that they forged in exchange for bounty that is collected across the realms. They also have a kind of symbiotic relationship with the Hobgrots and have traded with like the Cruel Boys and things like that. But they are Chaos Grand Alliance.
Nice. So how does Hashut fit in with the Chaos Pantheon? Does he want to become one?
Really badly.
Yeah, it does not play well with others as a recurring theme, really.
So he is part of the pantheon of the Dwarven gods, right? But he feels ostracized. They understand we want to ostracize him. So the Hellsmiths kind of vilely resent the other Dwarven gods. It's a very fractious relationship, which is why there's such vitriol.
This feels like a Bungie announcement for Destiny, but less good. How do you get less good than a Bungie announcement for Destiny? That's like one of the worst things ever.
To the timeline of the Horus Heresy.
Let's do it.
The Horus Heresy?
There are a multitude of great releases coming if you play Legions Imperialis. It's all tanks. So if you're
So
a
many
treadhead,
tanks.
settle
So
in
many tanks.
and we'll take you on a tour. Several boxes of fantastic plastic kits that make some really
Whirlwinds and Scorpius missile tanks. Okay.
Whirlwind and Scorpius set. It's 8 of those, 4 of each. And so if you want to just rain death on the enemy, blow them out of their cover.
8 tiny little tanks for 40 quid. Cool.
On that famous Rhino chassis, as is the Vindicator Siege Tank Squadron. Essentially, what's the biggest gun you can stick on a Rhino? Oh, it appears to be a gun with a breach
What
big
if
enough
I
to
want?
stuff a
I
whole
want an
space
even
marine in
bigger
it.
gun, though, Adam. I want a bigger gun.
You want to do
I
a
haven't
bigger
actually
assault
looked into Imperialis. I will be interested
Oh,
to
that's
see
that's exactly it.
how much these things actually cost.
on the way. It's just
If they're as expensive as a normal Warhammer, where a single box of 8 tiny little tanks is the same as like a box of Space Marines, that must be fucking infuriating.
I imagine he's just like baking off what's left. You know,
Maybe,
they drive
yeah,
through and it's
maybe.
like, you're getting some.
Like,
you're getting
if a
some.
box of 4 of those
So,
Land Raiders
if you want to blow things up from further away, maybe
comes
it's a
in, like,
Titan squadron that offends you, then you do a lot
in
worse.
like
Use
40
a
quid,
heavy tank destroyer
literally a
squadron.
tenner per tiny tank,
These are firing turbo lasers.
which is
That
about
guy's got
$15 per
pump.
tiny tank.
It is a wonderful time to be driving tanks over the enemy.
Yeah, some debate in the
Legions.
office as to whether
Imperialis.
it's a heavy tank destroyer or a heavy tank destroyer.
Yeah, exactly. We've had some debate.
Let us
on
know
that.
in the chat which one you think
Yeah,
it is.
do you think it's a heavy tank for destroying or a tank for destroying heavy things? Answers.
Possibly
in the chat.
both. Possibly. Both.
The heaviest of all of the tanks, it's so heavy, it's super heavy, is the Mastodon assault transport. What if you want to just pack Space Marines into a tank, drive it across the battlefield, open your gates, and charge into an enemy stronghold, having leveled
Okay,
the walls?
I mean, they are
the
cool.
way, then this is the way for you to do so. It's even got its own anti-aircraft system on the top, and the pilot of that is offering you a crisp fist bump as well. I imagine he gets on great with the other guy.
It's sort of a 30,000.
How do they give us
power,
less
isn't it?
plastic until charged, damn near the same price? Because they're vain, arrogant assholes who still think they have a monopoly. But they don't. And they're going to find out about that real soon.
Tanks, the Treadheads rejoice. All of the rules for those, in fact, all of the rules for all of the units in Legions Imperialis can be found in Liber Strategia. Essentially,
Unless the Warhammer show ends up
combine all
being
the rules
good,
in one place. If you've got a copy of the rule book and got a
then
copy of this, you are
they're going to
ready
continue to have a
rock,
monopoly.
along with a whole bunch of other
But
rules.
quite frankly, I'm not holding my breath for
There's
that.
too much to go into here and now, but have a look in the article that's going to be on Warhammer Community, and we'll talk more about it closer to the launch. What if you really like the letters A through F, and you want to mark
The
objectives
tiny
and
tanks
or
cost as
token
much as
effects?
Space Marines.
We're releasing a really
Are you fucking serious?
token markers for you to use in your game.
Holy
I
shit.
find these sort of things very
Fuck
useful
these
to remind
people,
you
man.
what effects are going on in the game.
Absolute
And then there's all the
scumbags.
data sheets you need for your Legions.
Just
Imperialis games.
absolute fucking
The team
scumbags.
responsible for this setting have really just done a cracking job of making sure that like the rules are accessible, you can get hold of them. It's really fun time. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, kind of compiled a lot of stuff together,
Jesus
more convenient,
Christ.
way of approaching
I've got a
it,
good
isn't
friend who's super into
Just
it, and
pure evil, and they
he's
talk about
asking
it
me
like it's
about,
nothing.
you know, how he gets
They're
away with these rules.
scamming
Just have to sit
people.
there quietly knowing that this was around the
Wouldn't
corner.
that be great if they're all
Because they
in
know
one?
they can get away with it.
Your prayers have been answered. There's more stuff set within the Age of Darkness. We teased these in the Saturnine preview, but we have the Mark II Assault Squad. So I think we showed one before,
We
didn't we?
did, yeah. I absolutely love these. So this is the new Mark II Assault Marines. Mark II is kind of one of the more brutal looking of the various different.
Why did they come in a
Marines.
box of 5
And these
instead of
guys have
10?
Ramped that up even further. You've got some options in this kit for
It's
a variety of
literally
different,
The
weapon
same
options.
amount of plastic.
The coolest of them is the chain axe, which is an
Yeah,
optional
Iron
free
Hands. Of course
upgrade
they're Iron
to
Hands. It's
the
Mark II.
sword
It's gotta
that
be.
comes normally with your assault.
I mean, Iron Warriors.
And so the kit's loaded with chain
They're not
axes.
Iron Hands, they're
It
Iron
has
Warriors.
Chain axes for extra clout. Think of them as slightly slower than chain axes.
I wish
have
they
a
were Iron
much
Hands.
more dangerous. Sorry,
Fucking
chain
hell,
axes are
jeez,
more
I'm
dangerous,
streaming.
absolutely.
Oh shit.
Fucking
They're a
hell.
points alternative. So
That was my mum, by the way.
if you buy these, it's just a straight points, no points involved, just a straight kit swap. If you're dying to have that classic chainsaw loadout, then there's some good news.
She just poked her head through my fucking window.
Assault Marines, or you can just get them from the upgrade kit. But I think
Jesus Christ.
with
Yeah,
a chain axe.
There's some great different options in there as well. You've got a couple of heavy chain axes too,
Yep.
which is another upgrade you can put onto some of the models. The Sergeant's got the option
Holy
for some
shit.
combat weapons. And as you can see with the Salamander on the screen there as well, you can also equip them with combat shields. So loads of different things you can choose to mix them in with. I would imagine we're also going to see some of these converted with all the different Space Marine kits. One of the lovely things about the Horus Heresy is that
Did someone
so many
clip
of the kits
that?
are really interchangeable
Jesus.
with each other, so you can take bits and heads and arms and weapons and stuff and really create it.
I really like the breastplate on these. That high gorget looks fantastic. They're just fantastic looking models.
That's just
well done
Mark
them.
II, mate.
There's more coming as well. We previewed the Journal Tactical, which is available to order right now. In fact, all of Saturnine is available to order right now. There's a new Journal Tactical on the horizon. It's called the Forges of Saturn, and this is really all about Vulcan's gift to his brothers through the Saturnine project. And so it focuses very heavily on all of those suits of armor that we've seen in the Saturnine box.
Yeah, there's loads of great new options in this
Wait, the audio's repeating itself?
book, particularly allowing you to do more stuff with your Saturnine miniatures. So there are different basically things that you can do to your Saturnine miniatures. Using
Hey, look, there, the clip showed up.
together to create new units. So this is a really great example. This is a Saturnine command squad, and what you've got here is a unit that's taking
Fine,
bits
I'll
from
do
the
it
command
myself.
squad sprues, and also some spare bits from someone who's built a Saturnine Praetor with his axe. You get the hammer spare. You can now give it to characters in your Saturnine command squad and basically make them into a champion.
No, like you
The
said,
other
3
option
times
that
the
you can
same
have
thing.
inside
What the
this
fuck?
is to make
Oh,
one of your Saturnine Terminators into
I mean,
a
that
Saturnine
might have just been
Centurion.
me
That's
being
the
dementia-ridden.
1,000 guy on the
Joe
far
Biden.
left there. Saturnine Centurion means that you could now have like 2 tiers of Saturnine Commander you can have in your army, and effectively unlocks the ability to have an entire Saturnine styled army if you wanted to.
Yeah, one of the top.
Hey, look, it's Thousand Suns. There you go, man, milk.
Is the way the legions embraced Saturnine armor. Obviously, to use it at all requires you to be at least to some extent psychically sensitive. That really plays into the hands of the Thousand Suns.
Thousand Suns love it. It's their favourite.
But there's all sorts of things. It's not just the Thousand Suns that sort of get the rub in this. So there'll be lots to enjoy, and we'll tell you more about it as we get closer.
Yeah, there's some really interesting stuff about how the different legions have sort of embraced it. So the Thousand Suns have sort of used it as intended to some extent and kind of put all of their psychic pilots inside them.
Yeah, look at them go.
Warbearers immediately crammed it full of demons just to see what would happen. But all of the legions...
Even the audio of your mum repeated itself 3 times. Did you do that for anyone else?
Right. We're still not quite done in this sort of area of the timeline. I am super excited to be able to announce today on behalf of the Black Library that there is a
Not for me.
new
Okay.
mega series on the way. This is the Scouring.
Oh, the Scouring. About time.
And this kicks off a multi-book, multi-author mega series set in the ashes of the Imperium. It's the first
I wonder if they can stretch this out to
Horus
$50
Heresy
bucks.
ended. The Emperor is mortally wounded, enshrined upon the Golden Throne. The War Master is dead. The forces of the traitor legions are in full retreat. What happens next? So this series begins essentially at that premise. And here we have a very understandable confrontation between a battered and damaged Rogel Dawn and
might have just been you, Katra.
pristine with reinforcements. And as you can see, they're at loggerheads already. Black Library are super excited for us to be announcing this today because this is the culmination of a lot of work and
just
effort
you,
from a
Katra.
really sort of carefully assembled cabal of writers and creatives that have been plotting out a multi-book series, which we're going to see play out over several years. I'm really, really excited by this.
I think you were saying to me earlier on that there's kind of like 3 core themes, aren't there, that's being explored through this.
So in a nutshell, and without spoiling anything for those of you who want to enjoy it,
I wonder if they'll make the Dark Angels books actually good, because the Dark Angels books in the Horus Heresy series are crap.
Essentially caused all of this, or their brothers have. They've ruined the work of the Great Crusade. The Imperium is in tatters. What is the place?
That's fucked up, Twitch. Why did you do that? I feel like a schizo.
The traitor legions, the second of these sort of perspectives. The War Master is dead. Their whole purpose for doing this has now failed. The Chaos Gods withdraw some of their power. So suddenly they thought they were onto a good thing, and now they're relatively alone and at sea. How do they survive? How do they regroup? The third group is, in my opinion, maybe the most compelling, which is what of humanity, right? They've just watched these demigods wage war across the Imperium, ruin everything, destroy the Emperor's great works. The Emperor is mortally wounded. How do they respond? How does humanity...
I find it absolutely wild that the Iron Hands get better books in the Horus Heresy than the Dark Angels do.
Absolutely, you can treat this as a
With this art, you can make a meme. Oh, you absolutely could.
All of the Horus Heresy from Horus Rising.
Something about banging elf chicks, and then something about autism. Yeah.
There's a lot of books to read, some great stories in there. But if you are new to the Horus Heresy and kind of the setting and the era, you can absolutely just jump in with Ashes of the Imperium and treat the Scouring as a series in its own right.
Yeah, I have to give a little bit of a shout out.
Something elf boobs.
For this first book.
Something Lego.
Of the really fantastic Black Library novels. If you've never read a Chris Wright book and you just want to dip your toes in ahead of trying this, I could not recommend enough of Valdor, Birth of the Imperium. It sort of sits outside the rest of the sort of Horus Heresy experience a little bit.
Yeah.
And
Me and brother arguing who should go ask Mom if we could play video games. Oh man, I never had that problem.
Your appetite for more Chris Wright. As we approach the release of this, we're going to have a full-length interview with Chris, talking about Ashes of the Imperium and all of the care and consideration that's gone into it and the narrative that unfolds. More on that Warhammer community as we have it.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I think
that was awesome.
Cool.
I really am super excited for it. We're not done yet.
We're not even close.
We promised that we would return to the grim darkness of.
Oh, here we go. We're back to the good stuff.
And we do now.
Possibly.
5 new Space Marine heroes. For
Yay, Space Marines!
Founding chapters.
Right.
Salamanders.
Vulcan Heston. So this is a
Cool.
model returning that has previously been in metal and resin and is now in plastic.
Oh
Vulcan Heston is
yeah,
famed
the
hero
guy
of
with the
Salamanders.
spear.
And his particular mission is to scour the galaxy looking for
It's
the
about
relics
fucking
left
time
by
this guy got a new model.
Vulcan. He wears some of those relics himself, so he is equipped with an artificer suit of armor. He is carrying a handheld heavy flamer and a blade of Vulcan that crackles with magma fire. And
Wait, wasn't the other thing good? Meh.
He's also walking through flames, just in case you weren't sure he was as cool as he can be. He's just walking through the fire.
I mean,
as well.
Horus Heresy is cool,
Probably the most
but I don't
iconic
expect to ever
Salamanders
actually play the game.
40,000, and it's great to see him in plastic. He has a couple of head options. You can have helmeted or unhelmeted. And
Health and safety first.
both of them look very, very cool indeed. He is only one of the 5 new Space Marine characters.
Next up we have
Oh.
very iconic and
Okay, so this guy definitely needed a new model, that's for sure. I remember him.
Captain of the first company, I probably should say, of the Imperial Fists chapter. He's been remade in the sort of new Terminator.
Lysander,
for the
yeah.
first time.
That's the one.
The same scale as the ones
absolutely.
in the recent Warhammer 40,000.
And he is a substantial.
I just like me
man in
Mark
armor.
III.
He has
Mark
an
III is
enormous
cool.
Storm shield. He's carrying that incredible looking thunder
might be
hammer.
the
He
best
definitely
version of
looks better
Warhammer.
with the
It's
helmet.
right
I think
up
the
there
Salamander
with
looked
the
cooler
Warhammer,
without,
I might argue, with
in
the
my opinion.
talking top
But this one
tier.
definitely looks cooler with the helmet.
Yeah, everything you'd expect from this iconic hero of the Imperial.
Yeah, his shield is really,
Nice to
really
see a
cool.
helmeted option in there.
Yeah, absolutely. They're taking the.
If you don't want to paint a face, and sometimes you just want to get him on the battlefield nice and fast.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't yellow, I don't know. I might.
Alright, well, I'm ready to see the other 3.
He is not the only. There are 5 of them altogether. So next up we have Kanok Var, a new character for the Iron Hands.
Iron
chapter.
Hands!
This is the captain of the Averni.
The
planet.
Iron Hands are actually getting some attention! Oh my god!
Again, a Terminator in the same scale as the recent new Terminator kits. Some really lovely little features on here.
Look at him!
Into the kind of Iron Hands lore.
Look at his
He's got lots of,
face that is
nods
almost
towards his,
all metal, apart from his
technological
one
know-how
eye.
and alliance with the Adeptus Mechanicus.
Yeah, he's
That
got
sword's
some
kinda
further
hot. That's not a
data
sword,
sort of
brother.
gathering information. Look at the one on the bottom right-hand corner. He looks
That's a
like he's
mace.
projecting a fortress of redemption.
Yeah, he's got like a little holograph
Yeah.
of perhaps a building that they're planning to besiege.
And
Or
I
something.
think my favourite.
The Iron Hands do not
actually
slice
powerful,
things, they just
taken
smash
into a
things.
bow, not a weapon I'm used to seeing, and it just really works on this guy. Sort of straightforward, practical, extremely brutal. Next up.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Are those resin lines that I see there? Anyway.
I think for many people this will be the sort of
This one's cool, guys.
the model which fires your imagination.
Oh.
The Raven Guard have a new chapter master.
I
absolutely
do-
love this.
I
So,
hate
the
that
new
hell-
Chapter
that
Master of the Raven
face.
Guard. You might be
I
saying, "They
hate
already
that
have a Chapter
face.
Master. What happened to Shrike? Shrike,
The model
has
itself
led
is
the Raven Guard for
fantastic,
some years, but has decided
but
actually
that
his place
face is
better in
awful.
the shadows as the captain.
Definitely
Stealth
better with the
He's
helmet.
Left Ethion Shan to lead the Raven Guard as their figurehead and their commander. And the
Wake
miniature
me up inside looking
absolutely
at.
phenomenal. We very recently had Logan Grimnar released. I think only this last weekend.
Alright,
this
one more.
continues, the tradition of
If
having just
this last one
absolutely
needs to be
phenomenally cool
Ezekiel
chapter
or
masters.
Samael.
Yeah, he's redolent in sort of the imagery of the Raven Guard.
Of the Dark
you can
Angels.
see There's those sort of tassels that sort of dangle from him with the sort of secret runic script of deliverance. He's got feathers and
Look at
fetishes.
those
And
claws.
You
he's got the
ugly
ring head option.
motherfucker.
Aethon Shan
Yeah.
is a
Very ugly.
just tremendous piece model, and I think the Raven Guard fans out there are going to be delighted.
That face just
by
caught me
what
off guard,
was
man.
out.
That was horrific.
And there's one more.
Oh.
He is the first captain of the White Scars chapter.
Oh, and you gave him a hover bike with those stupid engines that they've got now.
It's got
Oh.
a Gatling cannon mounted into the front. He's just the perfect embodiment of that White Scars hero huntsman archetype.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. There's all sorts of.
I
beautiful,
hate the
graphic
hover
details on
design.
there.
It's
You
so
can see the kind of
bad.
pattern on the front of the
Stick with
dreadnought is very,
wheels.
reminiscent of some of their heresy era designs on their dreadnoughts.
If you're gonna do like hover
We've got the
vehicles,
model with us in a
do it
second,
like the
so
old
kind of
ones,
look at
not
it.
these
He's
new
got
weird
some
looking
beautiful detail
fucking
on the back. He's got
tie
destroyed
engine things.
shields and sheaths and decapitated enemy heads and stuff like that. It is just the most White Scars looking thing you've ever seen.
Finally, a captain on a bike now doesn't have to run on all fours to keep up.
It's been quite a long wait. for
Please
White
put
Scars.
Decimus in the game. Unfortunately, this was 5 loyalists. Sorry, bro.
Really beautiful. How do I get my hands on these?
But-
Usually, there's some questions to answer there.
Oh.
There's a series of combat patrols coming out. Listen carefully, and I'll explain the
Oh.
one piece of nuance to this. Sabodin Khan is in the White Scars combat patrol. You see it here. It's 3 Outrider
Okay.
bombers, an Intercessor Assault Squad, a transport, and
Why
Sabodin
only
Khan.
5 assault
He will be
intercessors?
available separately not that long after the release of this combat patrol. He's the only one
Like,
of these new heroes that
are you
comes with
kidding
the
me?
combat patrol. The others are available separately, but here are the combat patrols that come out with them. So you have an Imperial Fist combat patrol, just full of heavily armored Imperial Fist troops. You've got Terminators and a command group, and it just looks wonderful. Next up, Iron Hands, heavy intercessors.
What the fuck is
heavy
that?
Weapons, everything you might expect from these tough, durable.
What the
warriors
fuck
of
is
the Empire.
this? What is this absolute dog shit? Tech Marine, 2 heavy intercessor squads, and 2 turrets. What the fuck is that for a combat patrol? And you're gonna make people pay 100 quid for this? What the fuck?
And Hans chapter, the Raven Guard.
Oh my
bit more-
god.
Captain Phobos.
Yeah, fast.
Way to
That's
do it.
good. I like that. That was strong. Yeah, they're going to get in amongst it much faster.
Holy
Imagine
shit, what an
But what if you just
embarrassment.
want to carry all the flames all the time.
Yeah.
Every model. in
Oh
this
my god, are you so like they can't sell these things, so they have to put them in every fucking box they possibly can. They can't get rid of these things if they wanted to. Even if they gave them away at a reasonable price, people still wouldn't buy these fucking things.
entire combat patrol has something that makes you hotter.
Either a melter gun or a flamethrower
Yeah.
in some way, shape, or form.
I think there's some assault intercessors who may be
Jesus.
my attempt
Oh,
at
no.
connecting it. But do you know what?
never mind.
That is a lot of flamer and or melter, and I think you can excuse us. putting
Some
it
new
like that.
transfers in those kits as well. Adam, I know
Yeah,
you were a very
no,
big
you've
fan of
just-
that when we were
you've
looking
just,
through.
hit
kits.
on my like secret nerd part of Warhammer. I get really excited by transfers.
God, that just killed my mood entirely. And you couldn't even put the new Iron Hands character in the fucking combat patrol. It had to be a regular fucking Tech Marine. You pieces of shit.
Cool extras on those. Case in point, the Imperial Fist one has some decals that do Crimson Fists. So, if
Like,
you
why
were,
wouldn't you
a fan
have
of
the
Crimson
new
Fists,
Iron
then
Hands
you
with
can,
2 squads of
show you those
Terminators,
ahead of time,
a
so you can
Terminator
sort of plan
captain,
your purchases and your
and
experiences,
ooh, what else could we
as
put
they
in
get
there?
closer to
I don't know,
release.
a fucking Land Raider, and make that a combat patrol?
We've got some kind of classic stuff, so you can see the scale of them. And we've also
Doesn't that sound a bit more reasonable for £100 fucking pounds?
Raven Guard side. I brought along a.
You didn't-
a
You've got all 4 characters there except the Iron Hands one.
Stretch the imagination, but you sort of get a
You
sense
just
of
forget
how
about
big
him.
The new chapter master of the Raven Guard is there. He's on a big base. He's going to be quite an intimidating character. Certainly going to be the largest of your infantry models. Probably standing.
Oh my God.
Dreadnought at the top of his base there.
Yeah, what's interesting is he
Valid
takes
crash
the
out?
box
Thank
where
you. This is
he rates
fucking
it up a little.
embarrassing.
But Darneth Lysander is such a brute that he's not that much shorter than either of the 2 models you just mentioned. He really is very dominating.
Oh.
Spoden Khan next to an Outrider. First of all, check out the sort of similarities between the stylings, the sort of the shape of the bike.
Oh, the Salamander's not there too either. You're right.
But if you
Oh.
check out
There,
some of
there
the
are
details
so
on the
many
back.
lovely details on this. I really like the shield. There's some sheaths. There's some extra weapons. There's like.
If I get that, I'm just gonna make him Samael of the Raven Wing. Like, I'm just gonna do a conversion. If they can't be asked making a model for one of the most important Dark Angels characters, I might as well do it too. Instead, you give it to a fucking no-name White Scar
so,
that no one's going to play.
There we are. Space Marine.
Surely that's all the Space Marine we have time for.
So you say that, but there is a little bit more Space Marine on the way.
Thank God.
This one's really exciting for me because I got to help a little bit on the team that.
Oh, never mind.
I am over the moon to present the first ever officially licensed wearable Space Marine.
How much are you going to charge for that? 1,000?
Lieutenant Titus Mark 10 helmet made by JoyToy. If you've not heard of JoyToy, where have you been hiding? JoyToy make beautiful action figures under license from Games Workshop. They do Warhammer 40,000 ones, and they do Warhammer Age of Sigmar ones, and they do Warhammer the Horus Heresy.
Don't tell me they're only Space Marines. Probably.
Incredible helmet. It's just really something. And I can talk about some of its features. Inside, it's got an adjustable sort of headband, so you can change it to fit your head. What that means is that unless you've got the tiniest of heads, like a small child or a grot,
God, I'm still raging about that combat patrol. That is embarrassing. I hate that with a passion.
I will.
What a
But
bunch
before
of
I do, so
scumbags.
this is the prototype that we've been sort of working with them on. And before I do, I'm going to flip a switch.
Hey, look, get this new combat patrol with things that you probably already have a bunch of.
There's some really great pictures that you'll be able to see later.
Fuck off.
I feel like a Space Marine already. This is just
I feel like I'm standing next to a Space Marine. It's incredible.
I mean, it's never felt so good to feel like Lieutenant.
Anyway, with this cheap plastic, £1,000.
You can buy it with this lovely display stand as well. This is the Mark 10 helmet stand. It looks like something straight out of.
If I were to get that, I'd have to paint it over green.
Where a Space Marine might put his war gear.
And then I could wear it and have a webcam on stream.
It's your choice whether you want to get the helmet separately or with that. But I've had this in my office for quite a while, and it looks really cool. When can you get your hands on it? I guess is the question.
When can I get my hands on it, Adam?
I'm glad you asked. The answer is, when this preview show is done, the pre-orders begin. So you'll be able to.
Oh, I am gonna fucking look up that price. I tell you what.
So, yeah, I'm just over the moon to see this.
Someone might need to remind me, but before this show is over, when this show is over, someone remind me to look up the pre-orders and see how fucking expensive this helmet is.
To Kill Team to the Kill Team.
Right. Okay. So we got 5 Space Marines, and that's it. Cool. Oh look, it's Primaris. Oh look, it was. I saw the symbol. It was Guardians of the Covenant. Hold on, go back. My favorite successor chapter of the Dark Angels, Guardians of the Covenant. Okay, I might have to buy this box 1,000,000 times just for those shoulder pads. They're really milking Titus's tits. Yeah, that's because Space Marine 2 is like the best-selling game they've, had.
An amazing,
cool.
amazing new box.
Like 90% of their games are mobile phone dog shit.
A new kill zone, some incredible miniatures. Let's take a look. This is.
But hey, Deathwatch.
World, and you get absolutely loads in this box.
It's just bursting with cool
this
stuff. Right?
might be the best Kill Team box we've released. It's
bold
way up
claim,
there.
and I struggle to argue.
It's up there. There's some beautiful stuff in here. I mean, if we talk about the battlefield first, you've got some absolutely amazing.
It's Primaris
scenery.
2,
A little
Deathwatch
bit like
Primaris.
the dark scenery we saw.
Yeah, absolutely.
We all knew it was coming.
Allows you to play games in that same sort of style. Doesn't replace it necessarily, but allows you to play that kind of close confines, up close battles. Really thematic. You've got the kind of
Deathwatch are still alive, kind of. They still will never have their own codex ever again, but yeah.
Where the real excitement is. So if we start off with the Deathwatch Kill Team, this is the return of the original Kill Team. The name Kill Team itself comes from the concept of Deathwatch, and they have come out with an amazing new range of miniatures. There are 10 of these guys in the box.
Yeah, I was going to say, if there was only 5, Jesus.
Have you got any favourites from the mix there?
For me, I'm all about the big firepower, right? So, sort of bottom right, you have a Flesh Terrier holding a frag cannon, because that's the best way to greet the Xenos, right? Yeah, you can't really go wrong. I called him out as a Flesh Terror because I happen to know he is. One of the things that's really striking about this set is that there's loads of different heraldic devices available.
Some quite obscure chapters as well.
Yeah, I mean, so Flesh Terrors are perhaps not obscure, but they're not necessarily what you might expect. For example, top center, that's a member of the Wolf Spears, which is one of the few successors to the Space Wolves chapter. We've got an Ultramarine on the right-hand side. The
course.
swords on the one
Guardians of the Covenant.
left, I think, is probably making him a Guardian of the
I
Covenant.
think you might be right.
And as a Dark Angels collector, that's quite exciting.
We had a fun game earlier on where we tried to guess all the different chapters.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, dog. My dog snuck away onto my under my desk, so now I accidentally kicked her in the face.
A chapter that you're interested in, shout them out in the chat. I think the top
Sorry, dog.
Get some attention because there's a lot of fans for those guys. Loads of options, loads of different specializations for your kill team.
I do like that it gives you normal Primaris, heavy intercessors, and Phobos. That's cool.
The way that this, any kill team works.
Poor
is that you
doggy,
have a roster
she's
of
okay.
Warriors, and
It was
then
a very
you choose
light
one you want
tap.
before your game starts. You get 10 models in this box to make your kill team. You've got loads of different options, and then you choose before each game. Your kill team in game will be 5 of those warriors, and you can pick any 5 you want.
What? That's gay as hell.
The underslung grenade launcher and all of these.
What?
Harness.
It's great. To
You
see a
can
mix
make
of
10, but
Gravis
you can
and
only
Phobos
play
and
5?
Gravis.
What?
So that's a Gravis,
Fuck
effectively a
off.
heavy intercessor archetype, but he's even more upgunned than you might expect a normal heavy intercessor to be, which have already got quite big guns. In game terms, the Death Watch have got all sorts of specialist Xenos killing kit, but one of their things is effectively in each turning point you can choose one of them to use a special.
Has that ever been done before? Hey, you can buy 10, but you can only play 5.
So it can be blast or precision or extra.
When has that ever been done
like that.
before?
So that a kind of quite long-standing concept of them having the ammunition to do exactly the job you need them to do makes its way into Kill Team, as well as them just being pretty good all-round Space Marines, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But they're not the only thing in the kit, although you might excuse our.
Yeah, here you go, Necrons.
So, there's also the Canoptic Circle. These are the Necron guardians of this tomb complex. Essentially, their job has been to oversee the reanimation protocols of all of the Necrons that you see in these alcoves. We'll show you some more of the terrain in a bit. And so these are the sentinels that are ready to now sort of attack the interlopers.
Yeah, and they were just going about their business, waking up all the Necrons, and all of a sudden this very rude kill team of Deathwatch burst into their crypt and decided to start wrecking up the place. So they've had to
Sweet Canoptic.
mobilize against them. It is a very powerful kill team. This is the Canoptek Circle. It is led by a Geomancer, which is a type of cryptech. That's the model you can see there. She is the leader of the warband, and she definitely kind of is the core of the force, right?
She's
big and powerful.
She's big and powerful. Yeah, she alone can take on a Space Marine, but the other troops in her force need her to kind of be at the center to kind of coordinate the efforts. You've got a few different other models in the mix there as well. As the Geomancer, you have remind me of the names of these.
The larger thing on the left-hand side with the guns on the top is the Tomb Crawler.
Yep.
Then sort of the right hand, and there's another one sort of central to the right-hand side. Then the smaller things, they are your reanimators or your warriors. So normally, day to day, they'd just be pooling around, making sure everything's safe and well. They've been reanimating some Necrons, but you know when the Deathwatch come knocking. They leap into action.
Yeah, the crawlers have got some particularly formidable weaponry, right? So like they're up against the Deathwatch kill team. So the guns on those can take out a Space Marine if they get a good solid round of firepower. They are one of the you've got your kind of central character which does all the kind of utility stuff. Then you've got 2 really good solid gun platforms, and then you've got the rest of the force which whizzes around and does.
If they've got guns that can easily kill a Space Marine, why am I only allowed to bring 5?
That the box has a bunch of Necron warriors.
Yep.
Why does it have a bunch of Necron warriors? You might ask. They're not in the kill team. Well, one of the other things that you get inside this box is rules for playing basically co-op missions where you both play as Deathwatch and you're up against hordes, undying hordes of Necron warriors.
Joint operations is super fun, and the chance to do this as a Deathwatch kill team, sort of stalking around a Necron, awakening Necron tomb complexes,
Want to see the little crabs?
And just a great other way of playing the game.
I'm going to totally
Damn
jump
it,
on
dog.
Have a look around this board, and you can see in some of those alcoves there are those reanimated.
Take my shoes off, so if I accidentally kick her
Like
again,
weird portals.
At least it'll do with my bare foot.
With cool imagery. There's fallen masonry. You can imagine they've been asleep for so long that
chosen the most
events, whatever,
awkward
of course,
place to
fall
put a
down,
head.
Plus, and or maybe the wolf spear and everything with his hammer. Yeah, this is going to be just peak Warhammer adventures.
If I were a space marine, I'd use that dude's chin like a
And of
club.
course, both
Yeah,
of these,
true.
Kill teams will be usable in Warhammer.
Just rip his
40,000.
head off.
There'll be a way to use your Death Watch in that game as well, and your new Necrons. And of course, there is a new book, a new dossier that comes with this, which has all the rules you need to play these in your games of Kill Team.
Yeah, let's have a look at some of them in the flesh. Oh, it comes in a box. There you go. Let's have a look at some of these in the flesh. In particular, it'd be good to get the Geomancer in because that gives a sense of the scale. So my favourite with the frag cannon, but when you put the Geomancer in here, square it off. There we go. So there's some like narrative around the events here, which is quite cool. We were having a read. So when we learned that the Geomancer was in fact a lady. If you haven't already twigged yet, this is a raptor. This guy. So you get a nice
Raptors, of course.
From obviously.
Raptors are Games Workshop's favourite successor chapter.
The reanimators on the sides. Loads of stuff to feast on. This is going to be a very exciting time for Kill Team. I think the Death Watch are very popular with lots of fans, and they're so iconic within the concept of Kill Team.
Yeah, I think.
Except Black
wouldn't be an
Templars.
exaggeration to say the most requested Kill Team, since the concept of Kill Team was sort of re-emerged into the consciousness.
Absolutely. Right. I think we've done it.
I think we've done it.
We're around the 90-minute mark. I did say it would be a long one, but we've shown you all of our Warhammer previews.
That was it.
We should go to question corner. That was good prompt. Well done, Simon. There's probably a question or three, right?
Xeno's lover spotted. Hey, don't talk me into Templars. I'll talk me into Templars all I want. Just
so start off with old world.
they are just Team U Dark Angels.
Resin or plastic?
They are plastic.
Multi-part plastic kits. Definitely said it.
Let's go with the Kill Team Tomb World. Is the new Necron terrain similar in dimension to the Gallowdark terrain?
It is similar. I don't think it's exactly the same.
Yeah, Gallowdark would be a good reference point.
So we've got Warhammer Underworlds. Will the new warbands or any of the re-released Grand Alliance warbands be receiving rules to use them in Warhammer Age of Sigmar?
I believe you can use all of them in Age of Sigmar, can't you? I don't want to. Certainly.
Well,
I'm not going to commit. There you go.
skip ahead.
It's story. So yes, there we go.
Awesome. So we've got two more quick ones again.
They are Dark Angels, except they are loyal.
Are
Okay,
some of the
whatever.
wargate options that are currently no longer available to certain units ever going to be revisited?
So that's a good question. So we do know that there will be more things released in
Well,
plastic.
I don't know if you guys are interested in this question. I'll tell you what I'll
Some of
do.
those plastic kits, you may see wargear options.
Let's have a look to see if the price is that of that helmet is up.
Never existed before, added to those units. So hopefully that
Titus.
answers some of the question.
Yeah, Grant.
Oh,
One
man.
last one was on the scouring. How many books can we expect to see in the series?
At least one, because it's got the number 1 on the side of it. I don't want to steal the thunder of any future sort of news from Black Library other than to announce it today. But what they have told us, and it was one of the best conversations of my professional life ever, to sit down with the editing team from Black Library as they sort of poured the scouring lore into my open brain.
Buy fullbodyarmors.com.
Multi-author series, and so you're going to be following it for some years to come.
Grant,
There
yeah.
we go.
Well, there's a bazillion
That's
more
not the
questions
right
that I
one.
couldn't possibly get to either. Scrolling past so quick is all I could do to find the ones I got. But yeah, thanks.
That's great. What remains, I guess, at this point in the juncture is, first of all, to thank all of you for tuning in and spending 90 minutes of brilliant Warhammer fun with us. I've really enjoyed myself.
I had a great time. I always have a great time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
There's some,
Thank you,
general
Malachi.
housekeeping to do. If you've missed anything in this and you want to know more, go to warhammercommunity.com, read the articles that are there on the website. There's pictures, there's more information than Eddie and I would have remembered to tell you, and you can watch the videos back as well. If you are looking for more Warhammer excitement right now in your life, we're going to throw back to Tacoma, where there's Warhammer 40,000 tournament taking place, I believe, right now is what we're going back to.
Oh, a tournament.
You can hang around here, especially on the Twitch channel. I believe that is true. What else is there to say? The helmet. Go and find it on warhammermerch.com. I think we're done.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Brilliant. Right. Thank you, Simon, for asking questions. Thanks to the crew here who've made it all work. Eddie, it's been a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
We can't wait to see you again next time. Take care.
Order now. I'll tell you what. Hold on. Let's make it 5XL. Okay, so even at 5XL, 2XS, the helmet is only £140. I mean, that's still a lot, to be fair. Especially because, like, when he was putting it on, you could hear the cheap plastic. But that is definitely better than I thought. Which is sad that there was one aspect I liked about Dark Angels. Didn't the Templars massacre their own Primaris brethren because they deemed heretics so a little disloyal? Yeah, true, they did do that, I think. Some of them. But, yeah. That was the Warhammer show. What did you think, guys? Could you see yourself buying any of that? 4 out of 10. Kind of shit. Was mid. And then there's Denzel just ready to burn it all down. Oh, man. No guard. Nothing at all. That's sad, man. Only the Thousand Suns Giga Chat. Ugh. The Imperial Fist maybe, but not really cool. Not really, no. Yeah, but I did think the Iron Hands Terminator looked cool. I will probably get that from my local shop at a heavy discount. And that'll be it. So yeah. Jesus Christ. But yeah, that was the show. That was the stream. I hope you enjoyed. Here is the computer I'm gonna get. Lots of stuff, lots of cool things. Big money. It's just sad. Of course it's sad. The helmet line? Oh yeah, the helmet. If I somehow become really rich, I will buy the helmet, I'll paint it all green, and then I'll wear it on stream and have a webcam on. So yeah. Thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed my crash out. And yeah. Good night.